every way that they tormented us covertly and directly is what they want to do on an actual global level to sort of every country, every city. Okay, that's global chaos. That's insane. You don't know how many horrible things they do to torment us. I can't even list it. So that's a series that I didn't get a chance to start before. Inshallah, I'll try to do that. I'll write it maybe. I don't know if that's even worth it. Maybe I'll write it because I need something to go off as a list because it's too much. And then I'll create that sort of audio book or audio sort of version of it because, right, that's how it's easy to learn when you hear something. How can you read all day, right? But just so you have both. And the book will be free. Okay, so inshallah, which means God willing. I don't want to do this, right? I don't want to record anymore, but from a place of rationale, I'm thinking to myself, the human race, if they knew the bad things that are going to happen, right? Such as the Bible, for example, it gives some examples. Some is false, some is true. It calls it the rapture, rapture. And then there's these other things that people might have predicted in human history. They said in certain time in the future, this will happen. And some of it is happening. Only God knows where they got that information from. Some could be from the demons possessing them because they know their agenda. So they're just saying maybe that's possible like that. But religion usually tells you signs of the end of the world, such as I made episodes on that on the podcast, on signs of the end of the world from Islam, right? Some is going to be similar to Christianity. I didn't really talk about it. But I can always do that, right? So that at least I share with you the perspective I have on the way that I can connect the parts of it that we can conclude is true for both and the parts that seem iffy and we should stay away from it and just see what happens like that. Using what I always use on this podcast, logic and the true version of morality that is gone since God's books are corrupted. The Bible and Qur'an are from one God, and he's not Jesus. He's basically the father in the Bible. He doesn't have sons and children and wives or anything. He's not perverted and nasty. All the perversion, sexism, and all evil, weird things in these two religions and all religions is from demonic spirits possessing people just like these ones who are really wicked in human history. And God is the one who's giving demons the power, extra power, to corrupt these books. And then we have these religions today that teach you good and bad at the same time, and they make you sick. And yeah, I talked about it on my podcast, obviously. This is just about some other topic. But basically, it would be really nice, right, if human beings knew the bad things that demons want to do to their life. Even if you don't want to connect it to demons, just the bad things that are going to happen, then you're going to really have to believe demons are out there. Because, right, how can all these complete strangers commit the same crime at the same time randomly when they never learned it from each other and just pop up and ruin your cities and, you know, you all lose your jobs like we always did? Why is there, what, you get me? Why is the sort of global chaos this time that human beings are going to go through, why is it connected to poverty? Why can't it just be something else? You know, why can't they just cause, why can't we just suffer from something else? Of course, it could maybe lead to poverty, right, like war. But the idea, right, we wouldn't really call that poverty. We would call that war, right? The war stopped poverty, like that. Why is it poverty? Why are all of you having your jobs taken? Why is everybody sort of losing the sort of financial aspect? Why are schools shutting down and disappearing and kids cannot enjoy what we enjoyed all the way through college? You get me? Why are these things happening? Why is it all connected to sort of the economic side of you, the financial side of you, the sort of academic part? You get me? The sort of place that you would say our ancestors didn't really have, right? They just had to live in caves and stuff. Okay, but we have education, we have work, we make money, we have nice buildings we can live in and rent or own one day. Like that. That sort of wealth aspect of you and I, or success. That's what gang stalking steals from one person. But the devil wants to steal that from everybody now. Again, everybody cannot lose everything, right? It's a huge human species. The number right now is like almost 9 billion. But you get the point. The rest will obviously die from natural disasters because God is also doing his own things. All the flooding, all the hurricanes, all the earthquakes, all the things you could say natural disaster, fire, volcanoes, whatever you could say, such as what started to happen in October, is, you get me, including the wars that seem to repeat in October, such as 2023, right? Israel in Palestine. Okay, the war sort of started, right? October 14. And today is actually October 12, 2024. Okay, they did it also again, right? And they're attacking, Israel is attacking the Middle East, right? I'm sorry, not just Palestine anymore. October again, like why October? Just so you guys know, again, these things have their own wisdoms, only God knows. But just so you guys know, I am born in October. Um, since I'm Muslim, right, in Somali, that means 1993. It was actually an essential year in Somalia where there was that sort of civil war and other wars and all these things happening. For that reason, a lot of people, right, which is like our parents, they say things like, we lost your birthday certificates. We don't know what month and day you were born, but we just know the year, like that. Okay, so we Somali people, a lot of us are coming to these countries, anywhere outside of our country, with birthdays that are not correct, you know? So for that reason, right, the government just agreed to give everybody January 1st as a birthday. That used to be like a joke people made about this ethnicity, like that. So some people might find their certificates. Some people, I mean, they just take something. They have to, I can't really tell you the real reason. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but forget it, okay? That's just sort of the background, right? So my actual birthday, January 1st, is not January 1st. I'm born October, and I know that, okay? And I know the day also, but I'm not going to mention that. It's not important. Right? So the times that I have noticed that gang stalking, including the other witchcrafts, keyword other, I'm also in other programs where demons persecute me like they persecuted prophets, which prophets like Jesus, Muhammad, Moses, Solomon, Abraham, Noah, those types of wonderful men. We don't know if women were prophets, only God knows, but due to corruptions in religion, always centering on sexism and perversion, you're not going to know if women were chosen as leaders anyway. Forget it. That's deep in history. We'll just know when the truth comes again, right? When the next leaders come again, which is very soon. That's why there's global chaos. For that reason, then you're going to know. And you're going to know God's perspective on women and human race. Obviously, he's not sexist. All this stuff is nonsense. That's why someone like me, he's using me, which is obviously not a male, to guide you to see that, okay, these books are corrupted. His religion is corrupted. And to take good and leave bad. And that he's not a crazy God. Okay, so for that reason, right? What was I saying? I'm talking about so many things. For that reason, right? Goodness, those prophets, right? In human history, again, they're supernatural people. Anyone God chooses to sort of guide you on religion. They're never a regular human. But for that reason, they, right, the demons were given extra power versus the usual power they have. The extra power to actually persecute and harass these people. So they cannot actually persecute and bother a prophet or messenger. They need extra power. They need something completely irrational and fake as hell. God has to do that. And so that's what therefore their whole life was strange. You get me? They just from birth, they're always persecuted like that, which is not normal. Who knows you? How can you persecute somebody you don't know, right? Their demons are doing it, okay. But they're stronger than human beings. They're supernatural. So how can you persecute them? Exactly. You're not persecuting them. Something is possessing you. Okay, but demons are weaker than prophets. So how can they persecute them too? It's God. Okay, it's God who's giving them the extra power, and it's a trial for them. It's a test. Okay, so don't link it to demons either, just as you don't link it to yourself. You didn't know you were possessed to harass a prophet that day like that. Okay, two, right? Through that persecution is how God actually guides them, just like he's guiding me to, right? All the ways that demons are given power, all the ways that powers like witchcraft, spells, curses, how they work. Teach them everything that in their time they need to learn. So it's like the persecution serves as many things. Okay, but what I was trying to say is I'm put into many programs. I'm put into the program that prophets were put into where they're persecuted by demons. So I'm persecuted the same way ever since before I was born. Okay, so that means I have to be put in a very evil, narcissistic, perverted, nasty family, which sadly is the majority of Muslims. So you're already born into them anyway, no matter who you are. But still, there's decent Muslims out there. I was put into the worst because I have to see from the beginning, right? From the family, from the roots where evil starts. It really starts in the family. Okay. But that's also because in order for persecution to happen, the person cannot have someone who loves them, who's a good person. You agree? You have to be alone. Okay, so God has to put me in prophets and anyone who he's trying to use to break curses, right, which are just regular people, but they're used to break curses. They're going to be that different person in the family. They're going to pray, and demons will leave their bloodline. we all have to be born in these types of harmful families. A lot of them, the ones who actually do witchcraft. But to you, I told you, they look like nice people, um, because isolation. If I was born into a wonderful moral family, then how could you persecute me? I have people, right? So in order for persecution to happen, I have to have nobody. Okay, so I have to be put in an evil family. I have nobody. They're the problem. They're criminals. I have to get away from them. I disown them, but they still stalking me because it's not them. It's their demons that are just, they're empty vessels. They don't know who I am, just so you know. They're useless. It's like a dead tree. They're nothing. They don't know anything about me. So I'm just put in the programs. So I learned the powers of demons. So I learned the way they corrupted religion and morality. And I still didn't tell you guys my testimony of why what has happened to me all these 30 years. Like that. So for that reason, I'm actually born October. So I get to observe my life in that month. And horrible things always happened in October, but also breakthroughs and the help of God also came to me, sort of like the other October, like that. So good things and bad things happen. So it's significant things basically happened on my birthday, which is then how you know you're cursed. You see what I mean? Which can apply to all of you too. I'm just saying. So that's kind of why a lot of the global things and the national things in the United States that I live in and I was raised in, the things that happen are actually connected to me. The times that I'm being persecuted, this sort of part of the country or the actual specific states I'm living in, they're being attacked. And then some of them, they're not being attacked by demons, but God is destroying them. There's floods and horrible things happening, specifically in the areas of the country I'm in right now. So do you see what's going on? It's like wherever I go, the sort of powers of God himself, where he's causing disasters, right, for his creation, that's just a trial, or maybe that's their time to die. That's the way they're gonna die. I'm there for some reason. And then the areas where demons are tormenting and attacking, the whole country that's usually going through the worst, like this one, I'm there. And then the countries I wanted to go to, like China, Taiwan, to get away from the harassment and persecution, they're the ones that started the COVID and had problems, and now you can't go there. It's like where I want to go, the evil is following me, but also God himself is intentionally making sure I get pushed into states and countries that I don't want to go to, but that he is pushing me to. He's allowing demons to push me to, so that then I actually see other things that God is responsible for, like natural disasters, because he's teaching me something. You see, it's not to hurt me, it's to teach me. And two, to put me through trials. So I've had to deal with the hurricanes. I've had to deal with all those things. And to be honest with you, when that hurricane happened, right, Hurricane Helene, I was ending the podcast, right? I ended the podcast because I was going through hell. And again, I don't cut myself off from God, right? But I have a hard time being my happy way with him, right? I just sort of, it's not perfect basically, but I don't cut myself from him. I don't disobey him or commit sin or anything. That's not to be arrogant. I'm just trying to correct you. I don't want you to think I did something bad or cut him off or something. No, I just was tired of what he's putting me through. And okay, like that, I'm in that sort of state, right? That sort of distress. And I'm not obviously saying, thanks God, right? Okay, so for that reason, that's the same time he actually caused that Hurricane Helene to happen. So I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm not telling you how important or how not important I am. But the things happening in this world, a lot of it is happening in conjunction, right? In connection to when God is putting me through something. So it's not random, you know? And some of them have nothing to do with me. God is just doing his own thing. Or demons are just attacking you just like they always did. But a lot of them are connected to where I am and what's happening. Okay, so Helene happened that same time. And then I was so angry with God, and that actually is the time. Can you believe that? Despite the fact that where I was in, it didn't flood, but there was too much rain. I had to go to another city. I had to travel. I had to go through hell like that. All my stuff, right? I had to just throw it away because it got wet. And like that. So I'm saying I went through hell. And that's actually how he brought me back to him. I started to pray again because I just gave up doing that part of the spiritual stuff. You know, because since I'm not a regular person, since I'm being put in these situations by him, I don't really see why I need to pray. I'm just waiting for him to end it and give me the reality, the type of life I would normally have if he didn't give demons extra power over me, just like he did the prophets. Since I'm not a regular person and they cannot persecute me. They cannot bother me. They would just have typical power. Just we're all creations of God. But since I'm not a regular human, they don't have power over me. They cannot possess me. They cannot attack me like a regular person. Okay, so it's very distressful for me, the power they're given over me, because they normally, keyword, normally don't have it. So for that reason, it's persecution. For that reason, it's going to end. For that reason, the end of my life is going to be normal. And that's when he wants me to help his creation. I just can't be specific. So some would be right on the religious side. I help you with morality and religion. And some I help you with economical stuff. You know, I always told you guys I always wanted to be a humanitarian. That was instilled in me by God. Guess what you're all going to go through very soon. And some have already started to suffer that. Economical problems, right? The poverty. So global poverty, natural, just chaos in sort of the legal aspect of life. Everyone, the person yesterday who used to say hello to you might commit murder tomorrow. Random people who used to just mind their business are going to start to pop up and commit crime and become horrible people. Not because they just popped up that day. No, they were already like that. It's just, you get me? Demons didn't want to use them earlier. So it's like they did something to them spiritually. They corrupted their heart a little more. And okay, they got their agreement to just, let's go. You know, join this group of this and create this cult. Everyone's going to become a group. And because gang, you get me? Gang stalking. So the way they torment people in this witchcraft is the way they want to torment the human race. So everyone who commits a crime, the crime is going to always seem like a gang, or it's going to happen too many times in one area. You're going to freak out. You get me? Instead of just typical chaos in a country or city or world, it's not like that one, because those are rarely connected. They're random, different behaviors. This is going to be more similar, more connected, and it's always going to target what? Your money. It's always going to target the aspect of you as a human, your materialistic sort of life, the part of you that's materialistic. To some degree, that's going to affect your carnal desires, right? Maybe you can't get married, or maybe you can't have friends. I think that you kind of need like love or friendships. Okay, but things like that. It's really just a sort of wealth part of the human race. The things that are things we buy, things we eat, things we sell, things we get money with, the way we make. They're going to go after that aspect. Because right, they just want to cause global chaos, and so that sort of humanitarian future part of me. You see, God is putting me right in the places that are going through the global poverty and chaos, so that I actually learn how demons are doing it, because it's not done by humans. Imagine just seeing it in the news every day. You're not going to know how to help people in the future, right? Because to you, it's just a random news outlet every day saying, oh, that store shut down. Oh, this business, because of crime, they just left their location. This. You don't understand or know anything. Okay, but since I'm being followed by the demons who are causing me those same crimes and situations and loss, and then at the same time when they're doing that to everybody in these countries and cities, and okay, I get to also observe it because I'm put in the countries that have more of this chaos. I'm put in the environments where I can see who's doing it, right? The people they're possessing, the age groups, everyone, the way they use them differently. And then I get to see what power they used, right? Was it witchcraft? Was it this? Was it that? I'm able to see why they did it. I'm able to see some of those human beings are actually just coming out like they're completely gone mentally. They don't know they're always being used in that way. And some do know, like that. The way they're just tormenting us and making us as a society hate each other, isolated from each other, not know how to help each other or come back to normalcy again, not know how to stop those humans and help them to be moral, is the same way they isolate the person they're gang stalking from everybody. The person doesn't know what to do. They don't know how to, right? Just get along with their city and be fine and live their life. Everyone just rejects and hates them for no reason. They don't know you. So it's like a curse. Okay, so that's just going to be what they want to do to everybody. So I've been taught by God, right, during that hurricane to come back to him in that prayer. So I'm not saying he did that because of me, but why did he do that hurricane? Only when I told him that I am so done, I am never going to do anything related to religion for you. I really told him I don't want to do anything that, a God would ask you to do in terms of like religion or helping people or being a leader. That's something I don't want. So instantly that hurricane started. What? it's not rational. So I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable and say I'm so important. But I still want you to remember that, okay? That hurricane happened the same time I said to God, I'm done. And it brought me back to him. Even though he put me through hell, it didn't make me go away from him or anything. He knows what to do. I don't know how, right? But he's a God. He knows how to just bring you back, even if it's a bad situation for you in a materialistic sense. Okay, so I came back. I started to pray again because he's always guiding me to see that he's teaching me to pray, even though demons are scared of me and don't have power over me. I'm not a regular person. I'm not someone they can bother and mess with, right? It's me who has power over demons. God is always teaching me that doesn't matter right now. Right now, you're just going to live like some sort of spy. You're just going to be a spy. You're just going to observe this earth, this creation, how they use them, every evil they do. You have, the sort of abilities that humans don't have to actually see demons and all these sort of supernatural things that they cannot see, because you're supposed to learn, observe, and pray for people. And you're supposed to still pray for yourself, even though you don't have to, right? Because God is putting me in it. It's not real, is what I mean when I say he's putting me in. It's not real. He still wants me to pray so that, one, I learn how other people need to pray, right? Because they attack you too, just not this persecution way. You're not going to be put into every witchcraft on the earth, right? And many of them. But you get me. It's like my way of trial. Giving me a life that is not really mine. Giving me a destiny that doesn't belong to me as a way of test or trial for me. And then in that test and trial, there's like 200 things he can teach me. I can't really list them all. And you don't have to worry about it. And do you even want to burden yourself with that? Right? As a human, you should always focus on the basic of everything so you don't overwhelm yourself, because we're a creation. We just want to understand something at a really wonderful, healthy, balanced level and then move on. We don't want to overburden ourselves. It's not rational. So yeah, I'm going to try to also talk about some things that I've seen God guide me to talk about, such as the Holy Spirit. That actually is also in the Qur'an. Muslims freaked the hell out. Even I freaked out because I didn't think such a word was there. But I think that actually is the Torah that is describing. I don't think it's describing some sort of living person or being, because God said he gave the Holy Spirit to Jesus. You get me? And Christians are constantly saying, yeah, that's what we said. Muslims don't want to listen to us, though. I think God is talking about something. Look at the word. He gave, right? You give something's probably an object. I think he's talking about, look at my words. I said I think. I'm not your God. I'm only telling you to what he guides me to and to the best of knowledge I have. My hope is that you use your mind just like me, and you're just and fair with God and yourself and the religion and everybody. You don't pick a side and be too biased and too annoying, and just be fair and balanced, okay? Don't be too stuck in your head and be like, oh no, my group looks bad. We're not in groups. We're a human race. That means we're all one large, gigantic community, okay? I'm not going to say family. That's weird. But right? We all come from Adam and Eve. So we are actually supposed to be connected. Don't disconnect each other, okay? Be loving to each other and be kind. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's the book God was talking about, the scripture, the Torah he gave Jesus. So, exactly, the Muslims have to agree, even if they're so evil and immoral, right? The way they are now, the majority of them who accept the perversions and sexism, they at least have to use this to agree this book is corrupted, because exactly they don't believe in the word Holy Spirit, not just the concept, but the word itself. Spirit, holy, what? Right? Literally think about it. What does spirit usually mean? A living being, a demon, right? They just become a demon when they're evil, but if they're good, then we call them spirits. You know what I mean? They're jinn as their name. They're just like you and I are called human, they're called jinn, because we need a name, right? Spirit is more like what it is. You know what I mean? Not sort of like their name or their species. We're not gonna, right? Okay. So that's what they're called then. Demonic spirit. Demonic, you could call it human demonic too. You get me? Just humans like to reserve it for demons because it helps. You know, it helps to give them something we can all connect to them. But if you were to say, let's use the word demonic for any living being that's evil, and we don't know who the hell you're talking about when you say demonic or demon. We might think human, we might think animal. So humans like to reserve things for others, right? Due to wisdom God taught them in human history, the smart ones just like to reserve the word demonic for actually demons. You get me? Like demons, you know, spirits who are bad versus spirits, because some are good and went to paradise, and I don't know where they are, right? I don't know what's going on in the other world in paradise. We don't waste our time on things like that are too complex and no one can know. But we have to give ourselves the permission God gave us to talk about things like morality and justice, what's fair and what's right, and what our rights are. And that stuff we can talk about. And no one's going to say, only God knows. No, goodbye. That's about our right to live in this earth, right? So we have to know what's okay and what's not. We have to help each other. We have to stop the wicked ones from misinterpreting things, because that's actually you and I every day, how we live, that's going to get impacted. So you see how I use logic to show you what's really moral? You could definitely agree with what I teach you, because I'm not saying anything you would actually innately from the bottom of your heart disagree with. It's very just and fair and rational. And I'm not forcing my opinion on you. I am always telling you to pray to God, just like, right, Christians, Muslims tell you for discernment, right? Just to know what something is. Is it true, my Lord? Is it not? Sometimes you need more time. So anyways, see, I went into many topics I have to remember, because people are walking by me as I record. I'm trying to keep my voice low, even though they're blind, they're possessed. They're not going to judge me or understand what I'm saying. But they have a lot of peace right now, which is the point of this episode. So yeah, right, God used Hurricane Helene. Instantly after I made that episode, which anyone can listen, I think it's episode 214, where I ended the podcast. I was going through hell. Instantly a hurricane happens, and I'm someone that's revealing to you that his scriptures are corrupted. His religion is corrupted. I'm giving you a lot of new information about many things that I talk about. You cannot say that I'm a random person. You cannot say I'm just some nice Muslim. Okay, so what happens around this earth, a lot of it is connected to me. Again, not from a place of arrogance. I'm not lying to you, but it's happening because my life is being used to teach you something. You get me? Don't call me the son or not the son, sorry, the daughter of God or something. Don't do what ancestors did who was sinful. They see someone special, they connect that person to being a child of God. No, okay? I'm being guided by God right now. I don't have a name. You cannot give me a name. Don't give me a name. You get me? Like prophet message. Don't give me a name. Only God can tell you who I am in the future. I'm not going to tell you. I just know a little bit of who I am, but I don't know who the hell I am. Okay, but two, I just know how I was created differently than you. So I know I'm not a regular human or female, etc. That's what I know. I know my abilities and what makes me different and like that. You get me? I know myself, but not necessarily who I am to you human beings. Like, am I supposed to help them one day? A, B, C? Like, I don't know. I just know what he put into my heart to do for them, right? Which is to help you. The first help I'm doing is this one. And I'm already seeing it. So many episodes, so many articles are constantly being written, and God is just randomly posting them on my email. I just find them random articles, maybe YouTube, just random things. I just find them. And they're just talking about certain aspects of Islam, right? That many talked about and many I didn't. That, right, non-Muslims are always complaining about and critiquing, you know? I just wish they critique Christianity the same way. Usually those people don't even follow everything Christianity anyway. They're very nice, you know what I mean? They use morality at a decent level, but still, that's because that's just God showing me that humans are seeking. You get me? They're seeking an answer. They want help. Because why are non-Muslims so obsessed with Islam? Why don't they just ignore it? Why don't they just forget about it? Why do they seem to usually talk about it? And you get me? You can tell there's a little bit of curiosity. Do you know why? Because this is God's religion, everybody. It's just like Christianity. So it doesn't mean this other beautiful religion, right? The good in it, right? It has bad in it. The good in it, Christianity. It doesn't mean that you have to abandon this one. No. It's literally his religion, right? Split apart. So Islam and Christianity are actually one religion. Their name would be Islam. You get me? It's not going to be Christ, because that comes from Jesus, a prophet. Okay? And it depends. Who knows? Maybe God will tell us Islam is not even the right name. Maybe it had a different name. I don't know. But I do know, right, that these are his two books. We can prove that. And because they're split apart, because of the splitting, right, because they're being used to create two religions, because they're not being attributed to the same God, right? Even if the groups agree to some degree, or maybe Muslims say that, well then fine, they attributed it to him, but do they use the Bible? No. Christians might agree to some degree. The Qur'an looks sort of unique and nice, and it's very beautiful to listen to in some parts where it's saying good things. Okay, fine, but do you guys ever connect it? No, hell no. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to end it with this last part. basically, right after the Hurricane Helene thing, it's significant for me because God used that to bring me back to Him, to teach me a lot of things about these demons. Because, I said many times I don't understand things until He makes me understand. I'm a creation. It doesn't matter how strong or how weak or what you are. It doesn't matter, right? Everything comes from God that's good, right? Good. He created evil, but it doesn't come from Him. He doesn't teach you. He doesn't inspire you. Demonic spirits do, right? Using humans and anyone they're sort of operating within, including your own mind. They can possess you, or they're just calling you to it. They can talk to all of us using thoughts, not voices, whether you're good or bad, whether you're possessed or not. So we're all going to get bad thoughts. But if you're a good person, you're not going to get thoughts to be bad. You get me? The thoughts are just more harassment to you because you don't like evil. Okay. But if you're a person who could actually harass and be mean and bad, okay, the thoughts are going to be centered on that, as you would expect. And then voices, you get that only when you're possessed. So I obviously don't hear voices, thank God. But, right, that's something I desire for you all, to be free from them possessing you. It's a very heavy thing. When 200-something witchcraft enters my stomach all at once. There's one time that as I was laying down, God allowed them to have this power. They put something in my stomach. It was like being hit with 500 punches or something. But it's not a punch. It's like something coming like an arrow. Boom, boom, boom. But it just kept entering my stomach. It doesn't. So demons like to usually put powers, right? Like witchcraft, curse, anything, spell. They like to usually put it in your stomach. And then if they possess you, they usually possess you in the stomach too. It could be other areas too. But you get me? That was just witchcraft. It's so strong because there was like maybe 200 I was being attacked with. And it's usually nighttime. So that's why God likes to wake us up at 2 a.m. because He wants us to pray. Because that's when people who do witchcraft to you, right? Which, again, if you're like, who is there? You're always talking about spiritual things. From a physical place, they're narcissistic humans. Don't ever trust them, okay? Anyone who seems narcissistic probably does witchcraft. They're not funny. Anyone who seems too nice to everybody, like, you get me? You're not looking at them and they're decent, assertive, healthy, gentle. That's a good person because good people are assertive. They're not going to mix with everybody because that's not rational. There are people we just don't like, right? Because our personality doesn't match. It's not from a place of evil, right? We don't match. We're just good with each other, okay? And there's people we actually hate because they're evil as hell, and that's the moral type of hatred that's acceptable. The evil type of hatred is what we don't want. You hating people, like you hate them. You get me? You want bad for them and suffering. You're jealous. Okay, that you get me? But this you hate because the evil they do is what you're hating them for. So that's rational hate. God doesn't love everybody, just so you know. He only loves good. He's just merciful. See, love and mercy, therefore, are not the same. Just like I'm also merciful to all these wicked people that are possessed to be persecuting to me. They don't know me. They're not persecuting me. They're just empty vessels. They're just possessed. Like that. Just I'm merciful to them. They don't even know what I do for them. Every day, I'm doing a lot of spiritual things that is protecting them. They don't know. I'm praying for their city. I'm praying for their country. I'm praying for their life. I'm praying for their so many things that you could say if I was to categorize it as every part of their living being. They don't know that. You know what I mean? They don't know. They just walk by me. They were possessed to be evil, but I just literally prayed for them. And their demon made them harass me because I just prayed for you. Okay, so like that. That type of hatred they carry that makes them hurt others is the one God hates and that I hate. Now, obviously, we don't love these people, but we're merciful to them. I pray for them, and God always wants them to change. So I want them to change too. There are some that we're just going to have to let go. Some have to die. Some have to be killed. Some have to, right? Because what they've done is extreme, like rape and murder. They have to be killed, obviously. But you just give them the chance. Before they die, you tell them, hey, God gave you the choice to repent. Take this chance, right? As we're going through the legal processes, we're going through the time to punish you. Repent. Take your time. Repent is a behavior. You can do it any time. You get me? You always want to remind them that's something God gave them as a right. Again, they're not going to do it, right, and get forgiveness. What the hell? No, it's sincerely. God knows what's in your heart. If it's sincere, He'll accept it. Like that. So you kill predators like them. They're not supposed to live. But you still do the act of mercy at the last stage that's left. You're not praying for them to live and have a normal. Hell no. They're supposed to die. So you're just supposed to pray that what's left? What's the only thing that we got? That they at least repent and stop being evil at the tip of their death. And that doesn't mean that they're not going to go to hell. You get me? Just as we punish them, because that's justice, right? They're going to be punished in the next life. But at least they repented. You see? So only the devil comes to your mind and says, what's the point of repenting then? See, as if then you don't believe what you did deserves punishment. If you believe what you did deserves punishment, right, you would agree that predator, if he was being fair, for example, that female who could commit murder, right, like that, they were being just and fair that moment and being honest, they would tell you they deserve to be killed. Okay, the hell are you talking about then? Of course you're going to go to hell too, because that's the spiritual punishment. This is the physical punishment. Okay, anyways, as I was saying, they obviously don't care. If they cared, they wouldn't, they wouldn't go down that path. Obviously, the reason you change is because what you're doing is evil. You're supposed to leave evil because evil is bad, not because you're going to go to hell. Goodness. That's so dumb. That means you don't mean it. Okay, so yeah, to end it, right, the last point I'm trying to make. Sorry, there's so much distraction about me. God used that hurricane situation to bring me back to him. I still told him I'm not recording nothing. I don't want to do anything. I prayed one last time and I said no. That's how he created me differently, because I'm just always very obedient to him. It's very hard to make me disobey God. Like, I don't know what there's nothing a demon can do. If God was to give them power to harass me, there's nothing anyone can do to make me disobey God or be disobedient or corrupted or bad. Again, that is not to make you uncomfortable or to hurt, right? I'm just telling you that quality I have, right? It's something he gave me. So despite the extreme amount of suffering he puts me through, despite the times I am talking to him for 10 hours, complaining to him about how much power he gave demons, how wise he is, he understands what I go through, he still puts me through it more. You see, I want you to understand then why. It's because he created me extremely strong and extremely obedient to him. So he knows I'm not going to fail. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's also how he picks. That's how he picks for you as a human, what he puts you through. Again, not what evil does. Evil comes at you, okay? But I'm talking about what he puts you through, right? Like, baby, you get me? There's things God puts us through and there's things demons are doing. Goodness. You get me? He knows when he's choosing to test you what to do, because he knows how he created you. Okay. Goodness, I need to get to the end of this episode. Basically, I started to learn to just, right? Because I did it before. I did it, I would say, last year when the gang stalking was extreme, and then mixed with other witchcrafts, other things that cause persecution that is not gang stalking. Because, right, they persecute me like a prophet. So the things they do to harass my life has nothing to do with gang stalking. It's actually behaviors you do to harass someone who's a prophet like that. I go through that, so that I can know then how they accuse them and stuff. Because all they do is lie about me. How they tormented them. Like that. So I'm learning basically how they lied about religion and prophets, etc., morality, through the persecution of the prophets. That sort of witchcraft or whatever that is. Power, curse, I don't know what causes it. I only know what I know right now. But then this one, right, is actually a witchcraft that can happen to other people too. You don't have to be someone like a prophet or someone unique like me. I don't know who I am yet. Gang stalking can happen to regular people, obviously. So for that reason, you get me? I'm putting it so I can know how to help the people who go through it, so that we can one day make it into a physical thing, something we can prove also. And just so that I know, and for the other things that God is thinking he wanted to show me what it looks like. So I don't think this is what I go through. No, I go through the one that prophets go through. This one I'm also putting it, right? And that's why I see it more now, because now I'm being taught the end of the world, right? The agenda the devil has. So you're going to really learn that only from this witchcraft. You get me? Those people are never going to know. It's a very difficult thing to know. I didn't know either. I'm not mocking anybody. It's very hard to know, because all you're seeing is bad behavior directed at you. How the hell are you going to know that's the agenda of the devil to do that to the world, right? But when you start to see, wait a minute, all these things happening the past few years after COVID happens to people who are gang stalked. But what the hell is, like, that? It's very hard. Okay, but that's easy to some degree too. There's another one. There's another one that I've learned. So think of it like third level that I've learned of what their agenda is, which is actually more deadly. Because come on, crime and all that stuff, humans know how to stop it. They already have governments and, right, they already know what to do, and police and stuff like that. Okay, but this one, this sort of third stage is actually almost impossible to figure out. What the intention is when they do the physical human behavior to harass you. You're never gonna figure out what it meant. An example would be the fact that right? They follow me to bathrooms and stuff, and they do a lot of inappropriate and perverted and evil things when they're in their own stall, when they maybe come out, or when they have their kids with them, like that. Exactly. You think then, oh, they just want to distract you, bother you, irritate you. They're gonna, no, they want to do those harassment behaviors, inappropriate, evil behaviors, which should be criminal to everybody now who goes to bathrooms. But then there's that third level. I would say that's like the second level, the third stage or third level. What it means, it is very harmful, and it's going to fit what humans who are transgender would want to do, right? Which are obviously perverts. They're not normal or good people. Goodness, that's a pervert who just went to the other level of perversion and thinking they should change the appearance of their body so then they can mix with the other gender, and there you go, be what a pervert is to them, you know? That doesn't mean you don't pray for them. And the solution is obviously they have to change their body back to how it was. Goodness, they're supposed to go back to the gender they were created as. Don't ever be like, they repented. They, what? What are you saying? Huh? You want to distort nature? Don't go there with me. Okay, so like that. Everything has to always go back to what it's supposed to be when you change and repent. That's the solution. So some people are thinking, especially as Muslims, right, or Christians, they might be like, what's the solution to transgender? Goodness, how do they like come back after they repented? They change their body again. Goodness, we don't care if it's perfect to how that other gender they're supposed to be looked, right? But they need to go back to the other gender. Goodness, because this is about nature and sexuality. They have to go back to their gender. Goodness, disgusting. Okay, so we want good for people. We want to pray for them, no matter what predatory and filthy levels they've reached, like perversion. But we still have to treat them as they are. They're obviously bad and evil, and we don't love them, but we're merciful to them, okay? So separate love from mercy, please. Otherwise, you're also dishonoring victims, what they've done to people, what they've done to their own body. They destroyed themselves. Again, if you could observe their transition, the way the demons came to them, how evil they are, the way they all think rape is okay, then you're not gonna at least think, for the sake of argument, they're the way they portray themselves in society. Okay, so don't become hateful to anybody, the evil type of hatred that God doesn't want, where you think you should go kill them or something. No, you don't have the right to kill these people. You can only kill a human who harms another in specific ways that the harm has to be, right, like the body, like rape or murder, things that you would all easily, I told you, as a human race, you're always going to agree with me. It's not hard. Because it's not coming from me, it's coming from God. I'm explaining things in a way where it's fair. We're not going to murder someone who's a thief. And we're not going to cut their hand off like Islam says. You see how logical that is? It's not severe enough. Your hand is like, what the hell? Your body, why would you chop that off? That's the corruption, okay? Jail and things like that fit them. Making them pay that person back is like that. Common sense is what fits them. Things like physical injury to somebody has to be where they also cause physical injury. You have to be very balanced. So rape is, what the hell are you going to do? You kill them, obviously. You get murder, come easy. And life for life, like that. Very balanced. You know, you would say evil is like levels, you know, medium, small, and then high level. You get me? Like that. Yeah, that's why when I say the truth is coming, I don't know who's going to be used to help you. I don't know how much I'm going to be used to help you. I don't know what, Prophet Jesus is going to do for you. But if he was to come, obviously, he knows what to do, right? He's a prophet. He already also has experience. Like that. What the truth means is they're going to give you scripture, definitely, obviously. Or maybe they'll just do some supernatural cool thing that God gives them the ability to do, to just show you these two books, what to do with them, and they would blend them. I don't know, they blend them or something. Either way, right, we're going to have one nice scripture. But whatever it is, right, and we're going to have a solution to these two books, what to do with them, okay? And then how to bring people together of all these different religions, okay? And then justice. They're going to teach you what true justice and morality is. Okay, every evil is going to die. All these people who are possessed, whether they're good or bad, they're going to stop being possessed because that man knows how to help you get demons out of your body and whoever else God wants to use. I've learned to do that, just so you know. You get me why the persecution is so long. I'm learning so many things. Yeah, I'm not just being harassed. You get me? Oh, God, just want someone to harass me for no reason. It's like, I know it doesn't make sense, but the harassment is how you learn what's wrong with them. You know what I mean? It's not directed at you. It's just how you learn how they go around, do what they do every day. Okay, anyways, to end this episode, right? What was I talking about? Yeah, God basically did Hurricane Helene to bring him to, to bring me back to him. But also, it also coincided with the time that he already wanted to do floods and hurricanes, because that's also the end of the world. You get me? Some things are connected to me, but they're also just connected to what's happening to all of us. You get me? Our world is ending. So, duh, floods and all that stuff is signs of the end of the world. So it just, you get me? But why did it happen the same time as when where I was going through that situation? How did it lead me to come back to God? You get me? So you can't ignore. He, right, picked that time for me also. He knew what I was going to do, what I was going to go through at that time, right, in September, etc., 2024. Okay, now it's October, which is my real Islamic birthday, when I was actually born. Like that. This October is significant because bad things keep happening October and good things keep happening October. I need to hurry up. I'm not really laughing. That's what happens when I'm stressed. Sorry, it's not obviously a funny thing. I need to hurry up because there's someone possessed who's just staring in my direction. Very, very evil energy. So that's when I sort of make mistakes. Okay. Because it's very hard to keep telling their demon to leave. They'll just bring another person. Very irritating. So lastly, right? See, I'm getting forgetful. Let me move away. Okay. With that little gap I just paused, I prayed. I basically prayed that the demon has to leave and they cannot retaliate, because they retaliate every time we make them leave. They bring some passage. The human actually got out of the car. I wish you guys were with me to see that, because it's good for you to have evidence, right? I literally prayed. It's a human being. One day maybe you're going to find me in a video camera where I am. It's a human being in a green vehicle. Actually, a female came out. I thought it was a male. I just commanded the demon to get out of the car and they will not retaliate. Instantly, within a split second after that gap I made, I was praying inside my head. They came out of the car. So do you see what I mean? It's not hard to prove to you these are possessed people who their demons are following me, because I can tell the demon what to do. The human will do it. You see what I mean? It's not hard to prove to you. I don't have to be like, I just believe it. Just no, I can show you that's a demon. Because God does not allow us to have power over humans when they are not evil. You get me? You can also command a human to leave you alone too, in the name of God. Just so you know, that's another thing God taught me, which is cool. And other cool things I learned. Okay, but technically, right? If that human was there for normal reasons, God does not give me or anyone the right to tell them to leave. You get me? That's infringing on you and I, our free will and their free will. Okay, so when they have to obey, it's because, get it? One, there's a demon there, because evil is always going to have demon with it. Two, evil. It doesn't matter if the demon is there or not, just the idea, right? So God gives us power to command a living being to die and leave and stuff like that. Not like physically die, right? Just die, like go away. When it's evil. Okay, so I can prove to you that's connected to me. Because if it's not connected to me, God is not going to make them leave. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I can also make them leave if they're harassing someone else. But that's how you know the human didn't have a normal reason to be there. Right? You can pray against them. If they're making you scared and uncomfortable and anxious, you feel like something's watching you. I felt like something was watching me this whole time. I don't understand why they're in their car. They don't want to come out. I commanded their demon to get the hell out. The human came out of the car like that. I can prove it to you then, correct? Because I can just tell you who I'm talking about. Okay, but I just wanted you to know that it doesn't infringe on the human being, their rights. That's what I was trying to show you. It doesn't infringe on their rights, right? When they are just minding their business, because it's only when, right, something evil is targeting you that God tells them to leave, when we command them to leave in His name. Okay, so God is being fair. He's not giving that power to human beings or you over you and I and other humans when we're minding our business. You're not going to tell us to leave in the name of God and we just randomly leave. You get me? So it's only in a place where they're doing evil, which you would agree, we have the right to tell them to leave us alone. Okay, to leave our environment like that. It doesn't matter what they're doing. Okay, sorry. It's annoying. See, there's always that one demon that ruins my day. Everyone else is just covert right now. It's easy. So, right? I need to end this episode. Basically, I came to... God, I forgot again. Let me pray. Hold on. Yes, okay, I remembered. Which is the fact that there's too many people walking by right now. Again, they're just like some vampire or some sort of zombie. They all just walk like dead soul. They just walk from all sides. They just want to confuse me. Because to you, that you're not going to see their energy unless you look at their face and they look obviously like they're targeting somebody. right? But to me, I see the body, it's sort of lifeless zombie. So it's very draining. You get me? Because bad energy. And obviously, I know what they're doing. See, almost forgot again. Lastly, I just wanted to tell you that God inspired me around the end of the September, right, when Helene ended. And the way, right, I can prove it to you. I mean, you can't really know. Helene was supposed to actually continue in the state that I'm in, since it's on the southern side, right? Northeast side, which I'm on the northeast side of the country right now, the U.S. But, right, there's obviously many states it was hitting. I'm not going to tell you where I am, obviously, because I have people stalking me. I have to protect myself, okay? Such as the evil family. Again, they don't know me. It's not them. It's just their demons. They cannot harm you or anything. I just don't want those creeps, weirdos bothering me. Because, get it? They're narcissistic. They don't obey when you tell them you disown them and stuff. They've been disowned by me, but they don't act like that. You get me? They want to accuse you of their own psychological traumas and, psychological disorders. They're mentally ill, obviously. You get me? They want to somehow make it seem like you're some runaway little kid that they need to protect. Oh, we're looking for her, like that. That sort of evil way, right? Predators always target victims or good people who they've abused or harassed, right? By portraying themselves like a loving person that's looking for them. You know what I mean? Because they cursed you, they put witchcraft on you, that maybe you become financially unstable. Then they want to make it seem like, there you go, there's something wrong with you because your life is not together, like that. So it's that. If you all knew these were demons and not humans, you're not going to take it like some annoying behavior. You're going to see how dangerous they are. Okay, they're very dangerous. And they're actually behind a lot of the evil in the world, right? All the people putting curses and evil on our country and everywhere else. It's actually these types of humans. Anyways, I need to hurry up. See, I keep getting distracted. God, right? That night that I came back to him and I said, I don't know explain what I mean by came back to him, but I hope you get it. I came back to him, right? It's very hard for me. I was really angry. I came back to him. That same night, it was supposed to continue. You get me? The hurricane was supposed to continue. But instantly, it stopped. It's over. He actually woke me up at 2 a.m. Just got up as always, randomly. And the demons, right, who brought all these people there who were also seeking shelter. I went to this fire station where they had shelter for people, right? Because the other places are not safe. They possessed everybody. The cops, some of them were cops. The cops to bother me, the fire station members to bother me. They were trying to label me as mentally ill or sick or strange or bad. You know, they were trying to set me up again. They don't have the power. It's just that sort of harassment. Right? Just asking me so many questions and saying, we'll help you. Like, get the hell away from me. You're a demon this moment. Don't worry, I'm used to it. So, right? But they're always awake. You know what I mean? I can never wake up and have peace, just so you know. There's always some human, they wake up that moment if I'm in a building with other people. So, yeah, God woke me up. And he said to me, I swear to God, he spoke to me. He said, they're not going to wake up. Go and pray. No, actually, he didn't say go and pray. Go to the restroom. Because you know how you wake up around 2 a.m. you need to use the restroom like that. Demons, the way they persecute me, they also try to cause me disease and problems. So one of it, right, is if you don't obviously go when you're supposed to go, you could get sick. Like that, they always want to harass my health in every area you can imagine. The digestive, the urinary, the heart, right, or the respiratory, every area where you can get sick or have infection. They harass my life, right, using humans and situations in a way whether you could develop sickness in that area like that. And then two, for things that they cannot, right, it's not about harassment, maybe it's hard. Then they actually put a curse on me, witchcraft on me. So that's why that day, right, that night, around 11 p.m. a few days ago, I just had 200-something arrows hit my stomach. Literally, I swear by God's name, my stomach kept going up like a balloon. Something was entering it spiritually, you know? And you might be like, what's the evidence? Physically, I was in pain. I don't understand where the hell the pain came from, you know? I prayed, and it was like a curse or something. God broke it off of me. Now I'm okay. It's like that. They're just allowed to keep attacking me. Right? Because the time hasn't ended yet, goodness. Their power is going to be taken soon. Okay, inshallah. So anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, I'm forgetting again. It's because I'm walking back and forth. I'm tired. Basically, right? God knows I'm going to have a hard time going to the bathroom. If they're awake and staring and watching me, these annoying people, okay? He told me they're not going to wake up. I'm, God doesn't really do that for me, you know? He just lets them harass me. But you get me, I was in a situation where I was very angry with him, going through a hard time, right? I disconnected from him to some degree, right? But just not in an evil way. I don't sin. I don't stop worshiping him like that. You can say maybe I disconnected emotionally, maybe. So you get me, he's very gentle with me when I disconnect from him. Other times he just expects me to ignore everything and you're strong, go handle it like that, sorry. But then when I go through a really hard time, he likes to just, sort of take their power away a little bit. But then they're still able to harass me with something either new or past behaviors that you would say is actually very evil. Very, very high level harassment versus small. You get me? He says you would not understand because you're thinking, well, the person's going through a hard time. Shouldn't God give them a break? He doesn't, because he's actually using that to bring me back. I know it doesn't make sense. You get me? He doesn't just make everything stop. Two, also because maybe that doesn't make sense, right? Maybe in his mind that doesn't make sense because I'm still supposed to learn something, correct? Like that. Okay, so who knows? Only he knows. I was just assessing. But anyways, he told me to get up. It's okay. You don't know how I woke up. I woke up like you're some sort of person, right? Avoiding some lion that's sleeping or something. Not fear, right? Not fear, like you're scared of the lion. But like you have to tiptoe. You know what I mean? That was a horrible example. I tiptoed basically as if you were around some sort of glass. Okay, that's still the same thing. I can't have an example. I basically woke up, right? I walked outside of that place where there was shelter, right, from the hurricane. And I tried to go to the restroom, which is near. Very slowly, I tiptoed, basically. I told you they're demons. They're not human. So since demons, right, don't have to sleep, right? We don't even know if they sleep. And the fact that they can possess this person, if that demon is tired, another demon, since their eyes can be watching you, right? They don't need the human to be awake. So that's why I'm paranoid. You get me? That it's going to get up. Not paranoid, sorry, that's a wrong word. That's why I'm uncomfortable that they're going to just wake the human up randomly. Okay, so because they're creepy. And what does it matter if they wake up, right? They're creepy. They're very creepy human. Their eyes, everything. I mean, goodness. And then two, they stalk me. They might just also act like they're going to go to the other restroom over there. They just don't. You get me? It's not about just being bad. They follow me around. So they have to monitor me like some sort of, right? Some sort of criminal that's watching you outside of your home or something. They have to always go where I'm going. Because for 2 seconds, if I go somewhere else, 1 minute, 5 minutes, exactly. They don't want us to have peace. You get me? That gives me peace, obviously, these creeps. And I rarely see normal people, and that's something I complained about. And God started to show me normal people. There are many times that when I'm in the road, usually when I'm walking, since I don't drive for my safety, again, they cannot harm me, but it's too stressful. I have seen human beings in the road seem like they're fighting on a spiritual level. Like they look like they're killing each other or something. They look like this group, if I look at them, is on their vehicle. Just so you know, we can see energy on a vehicle, what someone feels and thinks on a vehicle. I wish I could teach you guys. Maybe one day I will. But the human looks normal. They're just driving. Okay. But I can actually see what the intention and a feeling and a thought is on a human, even an animal, even a pest, but also on the demon that I cannot see, but lastly, on objects they're possessing. And the objects that even if you don't possess, they're just being used by a living person that moment. Even if they're empty, I know what the feeling is. So I can actually see what the cars are feeling. I can prove it because I can predict what they're going to do. You're going to say, okay, let me see. And then you're going to see what I told you that car will do. They do it. How can you not believe me? I can prove these things to you when I meet you one day. But right now, God is not going to let me go and meet human beings and teach them anything. You get me? You're all blind for me and it's not good for me. You're possessed anyway. Many of you are going to harass me, so forget it. But two, it's not time yet. So don't approach me and be like, let's talk. No, God will set the time where I can talk to people. Don't actually think I'm someone you're just going to approach and have a conflict. No. You get me? If I was to do anything for God, it's just like how a prophet would do it. I have to be told when to do it. I have to come and visit you. You're not going to visit me. That's weird. And there's too many of you. What the hell? It has to happen in a way where since I'm one body, one person, it has to happen in a way where I can call everybody. Hey, everybody. You know, like Paul Revere is running, calling everybody like that. It has to fit, you get me, a way that is safe for me. How can I just talk to this person, then that Muslim, then this Christian, then what? That's weird. You get me? I have to make an announcement or something. That's way in the future, and I don't know what that is. So God is not going to let human beings do that, just so you know. Only some people will find the podcast, and in the future, when the human race just finds it overall, anyone can access it. Okay, then he's still not going to make people then approach me and be like, who are you? Because that's not healthy for me, right? It has to be a time he wants me to talk to you. So I don't know how that's going to happen. Don't worry about it. Right now, I just want you to take the knowledge. I told you he's not going to let you. So I don't even have to be scared of you approaching me. You're not. You're all blind of me spiritually. So it's like I walk by you and I'm invisible. That's what I mean by blind. Right? Okay, anyways. I'm sorry, I need to finish this episode. Right? I was able to actually get up and go to the restroom. And they didn't wake up. I was so excited. Only when I came back, then I saw them get up and they try to act all casual. And the way you know they're stalking me, those humans, they're possessed, is when they then woke up, they didn't go back to sleep. They pretended to also, it doesn't make sense, get it? It's 2 a.m. They woke up because of me, because I'm walking by. But then they didn't sleep. You see, all of a sudden they get up and they copy what I do, or they're getting on their phone, because that demon knows. I told you guys, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, they know something good will happen. So, okay, can you believe that? Within those, just by getting up and having some peace from the demon, right? I'm not saying that's the only way for me to come back to God. I come back to God random ways, but it helped me. I was able to then get angry, basically. You get that? So that's my personal choice. I got angry. Now, wait a minute. When they were sleeping, I felt so much peace. When they woke up, all this anger is coming over me because, they're putting that emotion on me using witchcraft. That's how they're controlling me, basically, in my ability to just do what God wants. Like that, God allows them to attack me, right? And I'm going to win, obviously. So I thought to myself, why the hell would I give you like that? It helps you. I'm not saying I don't know that already. It just helps you, correct? I'm a creation. It helps you to be like, why would I let that evil thing over there control me? Make me do something maybe I wouldn't have said or done if maybe they weren't allowed to harass me like that. So I separated that from myself. Again, it's not because of the demon that I did that. I'm just saying it helped me. I still, I still have the same feelings towards God. It's just, I just chose to feel it. He was calling me. Okay, and I prayed. I did what he wanted, I always repent, just so you know, even if I didn't say or do anything bad, right? I always repent. That's something I want to teach you to do. Just always repent. Just do it all the time. Just say sorry all the time. You don't even know sometimes what is considered sin to God. So some of them are really small and it's very hard to know. You'll know because you feel like you have to do it maybe to some degree. But two, demons try to get you to obviously think unjustly of God, and they try to get you to think you should repent for things that are normal, right? Like you expressing how you feel. If you tell God, my Lord, I'm not attracted or sexually attracted to that opposite gender, right? Healthy age gap, obviously, not more than 5 years. Human over there. That's not something you need to repent for if you tell God they're ugly to you. Get it? That's your human right. That's who you feel, what you feel. Okay. But you're not going to go and cuss them out, are you? Okay, you would agree with me that's hurting somebody. So we don't mean that. You get me? But they try to make you think sometimes you need to repent or not say that. At least, maybe they don't make it seem like a sin, but at least they make it seem like you should at least not say it. What the hell? That's your human right. Tell God what you like and what you don't like. There are objects and who and what, right, and who you don't like. That's normal. Talk to your creator, right? He obviously knows who you would be with romantically. Sometimes some people are going to be married to people of another race. You get me? Because they're not attracted to their own race. Whatever. God knows it. And usually humans are attracted to their race. That's just obviously normal for them. It's just, you get me? Maybe that's just what they chose that moment. We don't know. You get me? We don't know. We don't obviously assume. We don't have the right. That's their choice. But I'm telling you, demons try to make you think that's somehow bad. No. Right? What's bad is hatred and envy, the bad type of hatred. Okay. Whew. I need to end this episode, but something's watching me. I can feel it. They're in the building. I shouldn't hurry up. Because you know what I mean? The more I get relaxed as I record episodes, the more the demon comes out of people. Well, earlier they were sort of covert. Okay, but they were stressing me out. They were constantly pushing me to pause my recording and then let them go. I can't keep doing that because there's too many of them walking by. So you get me? Then when I start to just ignore them and keep recording, then all they can do now is, because I don't care about them walking by, they put bad emotions into my environment, sort of my way. And I keep talking to you about it. Sorry. So yeah, that's the night, right, that I did that, because it's not rational. The hurricane was supposed to continue until the Monday, you get me? And that was like a Saturday night. And then on that Sunday morning, the fire, right, the firefighter, right, employees were like, it's over. The hurricane is gone, everyone. Like, what? So God was telling me, I'm not trying to be funny with you. God was telling me, go, leave the city. You know what I mean? Because I only went to that location, right? Because it was a place of shelter. Since everywhere people were telling you to get away from it. Like that. He told me to just go. I didn't want to go because I hate everywhere I go, but it was one of those situations where I was like, wait a minute. This hurricane, this hurricane didn't seem like the other cities or states, right? Because they were operating for a couple of days. Well, this one, it was random. It just entered my state. I swear by God's name. It didn't make any sense. It was like sort of weird. It just entered my state, and then right when I came back to God, right, it just stopped and disappeared. What? It was so heavy and extreme. So you don't have to believe it, right? But if you want to, right, I'm telling you, God literally used that hurricane to reach my state and to affect me at the same time. But then also, he stopped it right away instead of the time it normally would have continued at least 2 more days, right when I came back to him, because he just used it to bring me back to him. And then he stopped it, and he wants me to go back to the city I came from. But I can't go back if it's flooding. So guess what he did? He stopped it. You see what I'm saying? So that's just a story for you. If you want to believe it, that's okay. If you don't have to. These stories don't matter. It's not what I came to teach you. What I came to teach you is morality, and that's something we can talk about. This is more like, right, my personal life, and that's not obviously important after I die, just so you know. That's how religion gets corrupted. They make stories about prophets and messengers. Don't do that. Leave them alone. Okay, that's how obviously religions got corrupted. So when I die, don't make stories about me. That's a sin, just so you know, and I don't give you permission. Anyways, because you get me, we're a creation, we die. People are not going to live forever, so you can't be there to defend me if you were here. And we don't know if you're evil or good, so an evil one will take it, right, and lie like that. Since we know corruption is possible, we don't do it. But things like right versus wrong, we're not going to be like, someone's going to corrupt it. No, that's different, right? That's just our just natural knowledge. We talk about that. But people's personal lives and what they went through, right? It's not good to talk about them. You just want to tell people what they did, right? Like, this person was a president. Like that. You just want to tell somebody, this was a leader, or this was a humanitarian, or this was a teacher, a mayor, whatever. That's good, right? So that's normal. But again, that can be corrupted too. But that's not something you're sort of bad or sinning if you at least want to retain come on, that's respecting people, right? If they did something, who they are, you at least maintain that. What sort of significant thing okay, but don't talk about their lives. That's the story part that can corrupt it. And it's easy because when demons, right, were persecuting me, right, I hate that word, they possessed these people to just make up stories about me. And it's so similar to how the hadith books and, right, the stories of the Bible and the Qur'an are, the way they just take some truth and some false, and the way they just accuse me of the opposite of my qualities, like that. So that's how they can accuse prophets and people who come to help you when they die. Like that. It's easy, So stories are obviously the problem, not necessarily remembering who someone was. But you don't want to remember them in a wrong way, so that maybe people start to worship them like that. They'll make statues and images of them. That's wrong. Now you have cameras, videos. That's obviously nice. Anyways, I need to end the episode. I'm sorry it's so long. This was like 34 minutes. That was unnecessary because of the harassment getting weird. The ending, right? I need to end it with this last subject or topic, which is the next few days, right, up to my birthday, right, technically, October, which is this month. God inspired me again, even though I did this last year and many times in the last year, technically. But then demons would harass me too much. I tell you guys, they harass me too much when I pray for myself and others. To be honest with you, when I pray for others. Because who cares if I pray for myself, right? It's not really the same thing. But when I pray for others, it affects them. You get me? It doesn't affect them if I pray for myself, because this is not real for me. Who cares? I, in real life, have power over them, and one day I'm going to have that power over them in real life. They cannot persecute me like this anymore. But I'm trying to help you against them. So if I pray for someone wicked over there that just harassed me, or just I pray for human beings overall, I pray for our country, instantly something bad happens to my life. And it took me a while to actually see the pattern. You get me? Because you're harassed all the time. The behaviors are usually similar. If something big happens, you just think whatever. Because something big happened even when you didn't pray for somebody. You get me? So it's very hard when they sensitize you to things. It's very hard to then understand why this behavior happened. But anyways, I get harassed too much. Something bad really happens, right? I get maybe disconnected from God to some degree when I've actually prayed for others. I'm getting attacked because I'm actually helping others. They just don't know. You get me? When I say pray, I don't mean like how other people pray for you. Come on, anybody can do that. No. And you agree? A lot of you have prayed for people, but nothing bad happened to your life. That's what I'm saying. I don't want you to think it's the same prayer. Not technically, those people something bad doesn't happen to them when they just pray randomly for people. My life gets destroyed more when I pray for you guys because my prayer is different. You know? Some I can teach you, some I cannot. I don't even know how to do it, to be honest. That's something God will guide me to. But the way I pray is, you get me, is more wisdom. Because I'm not a regular person. It's just hard to keep explaining this to you if you don't know who I am. But I pray for you in a different way. And my prayers, again, not to be arrogant, are going to be very impactful. It's actually very impactful if I pray for you. Okay, so they're going to attack me a lot. And what they usually like to do is they bring that same human and they like to make them do something, even if I don't see them face to face. They just like to make them do something that's immoral or bad, right? We just prayed for them to be moral, right? Just so that I get angry and curse them or something. Or they make that person get possessed to come by and irritate me. Again, you can just ignore things like that, but guess what they usually make them do? They possess them to walk by me or harass me in a way where witchcraft is put on me. So I don't even know if, to some degree, I'm not saying God would make a demon use your body to do something you didn't agree to, but you get me? I don't know. So we don't even know if the human knows that or not. Well, they probably do. That's not rational then. You get me? So it's like you're thinking, I know you can harass me. I kind of let it right. I still prayed for you. I had mercy for you, but it doesn't mean I forgave you, but I had mercy for you before. I can have mercy for you again and overcome that and see the spiritual side of things. Be a bigger person like God wants me to and pray for you. But did I just get sick because of you? Did you just put a curse on me? Did you just like that? It's very hard, right? So they hope you take the prayer back. Because just so you know, you can take a prayer back. You can tell God you don't want that prayer for that person. Because it's your human right. You get me? It's infringing on your free will. So right? It's only when you want to pray that God wants you to pray. You see? It's only when you want to forgive that God wants you to forgive. These things are the corruption in religion when they make it seem as if you have to do these things. Goodness. What the hell? It's disgusting. It's like forcing people on you. God is not a pervert. Okay, so for that reason, right? They just hope I take my prayer back or that I curse them and then it doesn't work, right? In that sense, whatever. They just want something bad to happen because that demon is thinking, look, they're so sinful, they're so evil. If we just show you just a little more, you'll actually take as if I don't know. Goodness. But 2, maybe I don't know, and they hope that makes a difference. 3, exactly. By harassing the person who prayed for you, you just don't know they prayed for you usually. Right? These are strangers sometimes who pray for you, just so you know. Right? They really pull you to people you should not be harassing. If I throw back the word, sorry. Not harassing. Throw those words out. They pull you, right? Not just to human beings, right? To harass them, but sometimes to those that actually have either wished good for you or actually prayed for you. You get me? And you don't know that. You're just some maybe stranger who saw them or something. And they're so happy because they're thinking you don't know, you're a dump. Again, it doesn't mean God took away your free will. Exactly. You're not supposed to harass anybody. Who cares if they prayed for you or not? That just means you're wicked. Why are you harassing people, right? Like that. So guess what? I've overcome the demon. I've learned the pattern. And this month, when I prayed for everybody, right, the people they're using, the people that they're using to harass and stalk other people all over the world, or other people are being gang stalked. And right, for me, I go through different types of witchcrafts that cause persecution, not just gang stalking, right? So every other way and situation where you would say humans are out there right now, living beings, right, or human beings are out there, that they're just being used, that they're possessed, that they're just operating from darkness, and good people, right? The sins they just commit, right? They're not evil. And then the way that they get attacked, demons obviously hate them, right? The way they try to ruin their lives. And just everything you can think of. My prayers are unique and they're detailed. So it takes me hours, to be honest. I get drained. I just did that. I just prayed for everybody, which includes the wicked ones that bother me every day. Again, they're not bothering me. They don't know me, right? But who cares, right? They bother other people like that every day. That's, right, the mercy God wants us to have. You get me? It doesn't mean we're okay. It doesn't mean we agree. It doesn't mean we accept anything, right? We don't like evil, but it's because we actually don't like evil so much, right, that we wish that they get out of their darkness. It's just a mercy God taught us to have. It's not a weakness. Weakness would be like you letting it go, you forgiving it, you being dumb and weak and just accept. No, you forgive what you want. And two, you forgive in a balanced, rational way. This you can forgive because it makes sense. This is very evil, is not rational to make sense. Okay, but you pick. You get me? Maybe they repented. Maybe it's sincere, no matter what, right, what they did. And you think it's like that. It's just one of those things where you have to use logic. But at some point, logic would also say to you, well, why would you forgive this one? They killed someone. Like that. So that's then a type of forgiveness that is not coming from a place of it's okay to forgive them. Again, right, it's not the same for the small sins either, right? It's not okay to forgive those ones either, but you get the point, right? Since they're so big, the sins they did in this case, exactly, is when the human is so repentant. Or maybe, you get me? It's just one of those things. It's very hard to explain. Just going to have to remember it's your free will, but don't be unjust to yourself, including don't be unjust to, right, morality itself, and be that sort of unhealthy way of forgiving. You get me? You can be too much. God wants you to be merciful, but he has a balance. Do you agree? He created hell. He created, a punishment in the next life before people go to hell or paradise. He created like that. He's not weak. You get me? He punishes. He puts people through things. So he's forgiving also in a way that's retaining his aggressiveness and his assertiveness. So that's all I'm saying you should have. There are people you need to let go. There are people you're never going to forgive. And all this stuff is your right. Okay? Just common sense. So anyways, I need to hurry up. Sorry. I prayed for everybody in a way that I've learned. It's not in scripture. Inshallah, one day I'll teach you guys. Oh, sorry. And then, for that reason, demons have actually lost access to my city the way that they used to. Again, they're all possessed. They're all coming out. They have this, for example, I said hadda, sorry, that's my language. Right now, they obviously possess these two males to walk by and say, excuse me. They never say, excuse me. They're possessed to just bother you and get in your space. But they said, excuse me. They waited for me. That's why I said, oh, sorry. You get me? I was talking to them. That's the humanity that they lose when they're possessed. They literally treat you as if you're not a person. You get me? Yes, they're bad people everywhere, but don't they still say, excuse me, like that? When they're stalking people, when they're possessed like that, right? Whether they're being possessed to be like a gang stalker, witchcraft, or some other witchcraft, exactly, they don't treat you like a human. So you see the difference? They're still possessed to bother me and stalk me and come here. But it's like very weak. It's like just the body is there. They're all going to come and go, come and go, come and go, come and go. They're not going to sit there for hours laughing, creating chaos, fire, ambulance, constant, traffic accidents and crime. And my city was dying. This country is dying in many parts of this country because of the demons following me. So you're going to start to see a lot of good things happen soon. I'm not arrogant, okay? But prayer matters. You're going to see a lot of good happen, a lot of weakness in the evil that's happening, a lot of communities coming together, people helping each other, because that's what they were doing. They were literally separating and isolating humans from each other. Churches and mosques and organizations and nonprofits, universities, everybody's not supporting you with the resources they have. They just shut down and stuff. Like that. I'm praying that everything gets restored to how it should be and people get the help they need. They all repent. They all join the truth when whoever is going to bring that truth comes to help them, right? That they are different than their ancestors and they join. They join the righteous side. That Christians and Muslims really, again, it's not hard. Jesus, if he returns, I don't see why Christians would say no to what he says, right? But you get me. People can still say hell no, right? There's always that crazy human that just doesn't want the truth. I just prayed for them. Okay, but how did I get to that point technically? Because I prayed for them before, but demons pushed me away. I got mad again. I just, just came from a place of surviving and ignoring, right? Even though I know I'm not a regular person. Therefore, a regular person just needs to survive. But I'm different. I came to help human beings. So I'm supposed to pray for you when I'm harassed by you. You get me? For me, I have a responsibility towards you. I'm not joking. It's a responsibility. It's not a choice. I have a responsibility towards you. If I neglect that, it's wrong. I use that power. I pray for you, and demons have made many people they used to bring to these cities, and they left. Some of them have gotten help. Some of them were extremely mentally ill or extremely homeless, and they're gone. I see them with nice clothes, and whoa, literally, I prayed for them just a few hours ago or something, or a day ago, and they have something. And I pray for myself to get out of my situation. Nothing happens for me. So you see what I mean? God is doing it to me, therefore. Because if a God wants to accept my prayer that quickly, that's not rational then, right? That he doesn't accept it for myself. That's because I'm being put in it by him, and I'm not going to get out until he wants me to. It's okay. Of course, you're going to get mad at some point about that. I have to overcome that. Well, yeah, I have a lot of mercy towards human beings that you're not going to understand, that they're not going to have towards each other, because it's just the way I was created in order to help you. I need to have a lot of that sort of parent-like mentality towards you. So just so you know, I don't see human beings like myself. I don't see them like a friend. I always see them like I'm their parent. That's how God made my brain. I didn't do that to myself. That's just how I am. That doesn't mean I disrespect you and I treat you like a weak, dumb thing. No, I treat you more like a friend. I just mean I see you like that protective quality of a parent, right? Where I just want to protect you. Maybe parent wouldn't fit, but I always just want to protect you. That's my feeling towards you. So that mercy is obviously very hard for people who are obviously harassing and hurting others, right? You're not going to want anything for them. But that mercy, the one that God who's just, right, also has, but I have as a creation level, where, right, that mercy for me means I just want you to change. Come out of that darkness. That doesn't mean I don't want you to be punished, right? Okay. So anyways, there was this situation, okay, where, so yeah, as I was saying, there's cars, every time I see them, usually humans is very hard. Because when I'm in one isolated location, they're all crazy. They're all just against me. They don't know that, though. But usually vehicles. I couldn't understand why the vehicles look like some are not harassing me and some are. Since this witchcraft makes everyone in your city crazy and it pushes off good people. So I didn't understand why they seem like they're fighting or something. They don't look like they're working together. You know how you can see an energy? Like some sort of shadow like that? I was seeing this energy on a vehicle. Like this one hates that one. But this one is not, like, I didn't understand why they're fighting if they're demons. It's because that, I don't know, I don't know if that's angels that God puts with some of these humans to protect me. I don't know if that's just the fact that you guys are all blind for me, but you know who I am deep in your heart. Because human beings just have this love for me deep in their heart. They just don't know. It's only when demons possess them, they act bad. But if that demon leaves their body, they just love me. And I'm not trying to be arrogant, okay? So for that reason, that sort of knowing there's something in their higher being, in their higher conscience, right? Spiritual, I don't know what you want to call it, where they just know who I am and they just love me. Whether they're evil or good, I don't care how evil you are. You just have that sort of respect and love for me. So for that reason, when they're not operating with demons, they're just so loving. They just help me. That's what I'm saying. It's not hard to show you I'm not a regular person. So for that reason, that I see some character who has that quality sort of fighting for me or defending me against this other side of the traffic, these vehicles that are really the humans possessed to act like gang stalking. You get me? They're demons are the gang stalkers, obviously. They don't know, right? They're not working together like that. I realize demons are doing that, and at that moment that happens, they project this heavy emotion of sadness to me that I have nobody in this life. It's so strange. It's so ironic. The emotion is saying to me, you're alone. This entire city, we demons took it over. We're powerful. Look at us. The whole city and country, wherever you go, it doesn't matter if you travel, it's just us. And it's just these bad humans, someone really nice and really loving. You'll never see that. That's what I'm seeing. Those types of feelings and thoughts. And there's this horrible depression, like sadness versus depression, right? More like sadness of a rational reason. The fact that I have nobody. There's nobody in this city who's a person of God or a nice person, a decent human. That's what they project to me. Because, right, the whole city, they're just crazy. Okay, so guess what happened? I was like, what the hell? I observed, because I kept complaining to God that he should be fair to me, at least as a God, and bring good people to my environment, or just normal people, or even if it's the wicked ones, they're at least not possessed, to be against me that moment. I told him there should be a balance because he's a just God, right? So I always like to talk to God like that. I tell him his qualities, and I tell him then, okay, this should be ABC, which is, right, how God actually teaches you in the Qur'an and Bible to pray to him. So I just learned that randomly. I don't really learn it from scripture like that. Days went by. It feels like God is ignoring me, but he didn't. Only he knows why he takes days. But days went by, it felt like nothing was happening. It felt like, yeah, it's over. God doesn't really care what I just said. Okay, but then I started to, for no reasons, he can do what he wants to your mind, right? He made me just focus on the vehicles, not humans when they're by themselves, because they're usually possessed that moment. They're usually sort of like the gang stalker. I don't like that word, though. They're bad that moment. And so sort of normal people, right? What do you think they do? Roam around society? No, they have a nice life, right? They go home, they have jobs like that. They have a life. Okay, so these people obviously have no life, right? Why are they coming out and walking by random places and just, right? That's why they usually use homeless and mentally ill. It's just that when you go to places that people have jobs and nice things, okay, then how do they harass us there? It's because they're just using bad people there. You get me? So it's not just these ones, or sort of homeless or mentally ill or whatever. No, anybody, just someone taking a break, truck drivers, just like that. Anybody, any cop just patrolling. They use everybody, so you start then have exactly that quality where you don't know who's good and who's bad anymore. You cannot tell. They all have the same face. They always confuse the hell out of you. Okay, God showed me how demons attack me with those emotions and thoughts, because there's actually good people in traffic that moment and normal people that moment. They're not possessed in that bad way, right? That it doesn't mean demons are not in their body. If demons have always been in your body, they're always going to be in your body, right? Until God helps. I just mean they're not possessed to be against me in that witchcraft. They're just normal that moment, which I've seen. I've seen some come to a certain building I'm in, like a service, a place you get a service, right? And then a few hours later, I've noticed those people look dead. You know, a battery, when it dies, imagine if a human was a robot, where the battery dies, the way then their arms will fall to their right lap, and they're just dead. Like that. They're sitting, but they're dead. And I couldn't understand what the hell. That's what I'm saying. God is teaching me things. He's not just putting me through it for just sake of trial. No, it's teaching me stuff. So I can see the way that they actually are limited in gang stalking, and other times that they gang stalking me. I'm sorry, they persecuted me. So the ones who gang stalk might disappear that hour, and then other demons of other types enter the building. And I tell God, what in the world is this energy? They're not like the other ones. These ones look fast. These ones look slow. They like that. That's how I learned what type of demons they are, you know? Right? Some come to accuse, some come to project poverty to me, some come to hurt my feelings. They just project all this depression or emotion. They all have different jobs. Some come to just mop the place. Some come to put curse on me and I get sick the next day. Like, woo, there's too many, okay? So for that reason, there's hours in the day that those who are technically gang stalking you also, right, this persecution, they basically lose their energy. But since you don't know who's normal in your city, because, right, the energy is in your city, your state. It's just a bad energy. It's just thoughts and feelings all day of what everyone's thinking. How do you know what they're thinking? Are you God, right? So they just cloud your judgment. But that's also not hard, right, to know if there's good people around you if you just observe them. It's because they outnumber them. But they don't outnumber them exactly when you think they don't outnumber them. Rush hour. Because good people are going home and going to their job, right? Back and forth. So during the day, during the time that you would say people have already entered their homes and they're staying there, that's when then these demons disappear, right? And then, I'm sorry, that's when good people disappeared. People who are not technically possessed, who are minding their business, disappear. And it's just the ones therefore who are stalking you, monitoring you, bad people who then, that moment coming, to just sit there in that day. They're just your customers if you're working that moment, you know? So it's like, and again, they push me to cities and places that are not really nice. Because, right, I came from the northern side of the country, which I believe to some degree there's a lot of nice people there. But again, if you go to any state, right, the sort of more wealthy or healthy or civilized place of that, that's probably where you're going to find good people. Not to say, right, good people cannot be poor. No, because what do they usually do? Exactly, they seek safe and healthy places, right? And they are treating their city comfortably, their environment, neighborhood comfortably, morally. So then it's going to look great. It's going to look safe and nice and clean, like that. Just common sense. If you're a good person and, right, you're not being cursed to be poor, what do you do when you get a job? You go to a nice apartment complex. You're not going to live in a poor suburb, right? Or like a ghetto. That's what I'm saying. It's not to be rude, but it's to be honest, right? Good people go and live in nice places. So That's what then the whole purpose of the persecution is, to make you poor. And I travel, so it's not even about that anymore. They just confuse me and push me to cities I shouldn't go to. And now they can just say to me, look, it's just us. But I don't know that good person was in the middle, right in the middle of all those vehicles. And they just pass me. I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to notice. See, they're possessing those kids, but I just walk by them comfortably. You know what? I'm just treating everybody normally as much as I can. So like that. So I started to realize, wait a minute, some of the vehicles look like they are against the other vehicles in the road, right? They sometimes honk at them. And I realized demons are lying to us and making it seem as if everything that happens in the road is gang stalking. So just the constant honking. No, the one honking at them is a normal person or a good person who's pissed off this vehicle is not moving. Exactly what you expect a healthy or good person to do. So then the one that's causing the chaos is exactly who you think is the problem. They're being honked at from all sides. But they make it seem as if honking is gang stalking. They make it seem as if a cop coming to that road and stopping that bad person who was possessed to stalk you is gang stalking. They make it seem as if, you get me? There are just a few people in your road, but they make it seem as if then everything that's happening in the road is just what the demons gang stalking you are causing. So you start to hate everybody and curse everybody and think everybody's a gang stalker. Again, a lot of people are usually bad people. So even if the cop is not gang stalking, even if he's doing a moral thing, really came to do his job, you get me? That's why then you can't be like, oh, let me go be his friend. Because he's still a bad person. He's still the type of human that's used to gang stalk. But at least he's not gang stalking you. Is it not good to know that that moment, him coming to that road was because he has no choice? Someone brought him there. That crime brought him there. Okay. They torment us because they make us think. They caused the crime. Okay, we know that. But then whoever came to deal with the crime is also a gang stalker. They just make us sick. You see what I'm saying? They just make you think everyone's like that. But those people are possessed to be gang stalkers. Yes, another day you're going to see the same cop harass you. Yes. But that moment, he wasn't gang stalking you. You see what I mean? So at least you want to see the events that are happening around you. You want to see them separately. You want to see what's really harassment to you and what's not. Who cares, right, if the people are bad or not all the time? Who cares about their character? It's not like you and I go outside and necessarily care if someone's evil outside, right? We just want to know if what's happening outside is normal or not, right? Are you harassing me, or are you just minding your business, you know? Like that, at least you feel peace then to walk that road. If you want friends, you're going to just seek your friends somewhere else. They don't have to be in your city. They don't have to be in your road, right? But at least we want people, what they do in the road, to have nothing to do with us. Otherwise, we cannot live in peace. We live in fear all day, like that. They're lying, okay? So I'm going to start teaching you guys. You really are being gang stalked, right? Literally how they confuse our mind and make us think everything is their behavior, such as people on a phone. No, they're not. Some of them are really on a phone. It's just if they're stalking you all day, if they're in your environment all day, at some point they're human. Someone's going to call them, or they're going to call like that. Some of the behaviors have nothing to do with you. But the demon doesn't want you to know that they lost control over that human body for that 5 minutes or 20 minutes or 3 hours. They don't want you to know. So then see how logical it is. And those behaviors that humans do are usually similar. Exactly. We're a species. We do similar things. We eat, we get on a phone, we just sit there for hours, then get on a computer maybe. Like that, what we do is similar anyway. So if someone was gonna use normal behaviors like that to gang stalk you, right? Torment you because it's fake, and at some point they're gonna still do those normal behaviors, but this time from a normal place. You don't know, because the demon is gonna lie to you. They're not gonna do something to the person where their energy looks bad when they're harassing you, and when they're not, they just look normal. They don't want you to know, because they want you to actually think there's some God or something that just makes everybody in your whole city them, when there's normal people going about their business, driving by you, talking on their phone by you, and etc. If you knew that, maybe, right, you should live in peace and approach some of them. Maybe you approach some of them and that moment try to, right, get what you need from them if you need help or something. But two, you know who to look for then. Okay, goodness, it became 2 hours. So, right, I started to see that, right, whatever I complained about, God started to do it. I told him, you don't bring normal people to my city anymore, it seems. How is this fair? Obviously, you're a fair God. How is this fair? Like that. And then I told them, why are you letting demons, instead of just letting them use some people to harass me, why are you letting them use everybody? Demons are not God. They cannot take other people away from their neighborhood and their community, their city. They can only do that sometimes, right? They can only make some people move out some neighborhoods, but they're not God, right? You don't give them power to control other people. They just have the power to attack me. Okay, so why would you give them power to attack other people's free will to live in their city, their neighborhood, go about like that? I was telling him that doesn't make sense. About other people's rights and the other demons who persecute me for other situations, not gang stalking. I told him, whatever power you gave them, it has to be limited since you're a God and you don't give a creation a power of a God or something over us. So where is the justice? I asked questions like that. I wasn't just saying I'm mad, right? Exactly that happened. He started to show me some of the vehicles in the road are fighting with these humans because they're actually normal. And I swear by God's name, they're never probably going to know. Maybe one day we'll meet and they'll tell me. Because, right, the higher being, a higher conscious knows. They just don't know who they were doing it for. I will start to get this sort of, it's not a voice, but it's like a thought telling me to do something. Like, cross the road now, we're going to block them. I swear by God's name. They say words like we're going to block them. And no, that doesn't mean demons are talking to me or harassing me. Okay, I can tell it's not a demon. This is not something I would recommend people who are being gang-stalked or other. This has nothing to do with you guys. Don't worry. This is not healthy for you. Okay, for me, I think, right, the reason is because I'm not a regular person, and humans just know who I am on a deep level, but they're not awake. You're not awake. So on a deep level, you're actually helping me sometimes because God is using you. I just don't know that. The demon doesn't want me to know, so he's going to try to confuse me. Okay. But the times that, see, God is using you to help me, I just don't know. Maybe he made you drive by me. And I don't know if that was to repel a bad person who was driving by me at the same time. So I saw it. A cop would pass by me. And then this human, their vehicle comes by. They look gentle and nice. And not necessarily like the other ones. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I don't remember this. Because do you know what used to happen in the past when they were also by me? Exactly. The witchcraft would make me look by force right at the direction of the human that's possessed to be like a gang stalker, which is that cop that moment. You see, that's how they make us not see things. They make us look exactly where they want. They do witchcraft on you. You just keep getting angry and irritated with these people. You just observe them all day. You forget a normal person might have just passed you like that. Not good people. We can obviously tell good people. They don't look like good people. Obviously, they look weirdos. So obviously, we could tell a good person from them. No, I mean someone who's not like them that moment, who's not operating with them. Okay, but two, I don't know if it's angels on those human beings helping me because, right, I'm someone God is helping. I don't understand. Only God knows, but I do know what it is. It is the human, and it is God using them to help me. I don't think it's angels necessarily, but again, only God knows. But they were literally entering the road when I felt most helpless. They just enter the road like some army. I am not trying to be funny with you. They enter the road like an army. And the ones who are stalking me are obvious. They look creepy, they're staring, they're honking, they're fighting, they look bad. It's not hard. Just because they're invisible doesn't mean I can't prove it. And they're making me uncomfortable. Okay, and these vehicles just enter the road, and they literally say to me, we're going to help you. We're going to protect you. Go right now. Because sometimes I want to go into a building or a situation, and it's so hard. The vehicles are, you get me, criminal. You get me? They're very harmful. They drive towards you. So it's like, wait a minute. I didn't see you guys before. There you go. So God was saying to me, they are around you. People who are not necessarily harassing you, and people who maybe are good people, just not so much in this city. And he also took me to another city. He took me to another city because I told him I want to get out of here, goodness. And then he showed me really nice, normal human beings. I know they're normal people who would never harass anybody that I used to see when I was younger, before 2019, right, when sort of the gang stalking started. And I was like, wow, my brothers are here. My sisters are here, you know, in humanity, obviously. And they just walk by me, and instantly, it's like we know each other. Their energy, it was so beautiful. The human looks so loving. You get me? You just know they're a loving person. And they're trying to obviously be polite, right? That's how a normal, healthy person is, right? They don't look at you, right? Just because we're nice to each other. We're polite. We have good manners. So they don't want to look at you, obviously. But then I noticed, right, that they noticed me. Because the gang stalking makes you think people don't see you anymore. No, they do. Good people see you. You have to find them, basically. These ones are stalking us. Get it? Okay, so this person, right, was a female with her dog. She just smiled. Just like the past people in the past, when you see a nice, good, moral, healthy neighbor, a really good person. really nice person, when they see you and you're maybe going out of your apartment and they are, the way you smile at each other, that sort of polite way where you're not going to keep looking at each other, right? Like that. I felt it because I couldn't stop thinking, God, why is her energy so nice? It's not demonic to me. And I only see these demonic humans because he was saying, look, I answered your prayer. There's a normal person walking by you. They just ruined your life and took you to bad locations. You don't see them anymore because obviously they're going to live in good places. But then guess what? She was overcrowded by almost 50, 60 people every time humans like her could walk by. Like 20, 30 other human beings would walk by who are very evil and demonic, right? And they capture your attention because there's a witchcraft on them. You get me? You can't just look away from them. They just make you look at them. So you have to keep making yourself look away. 20, 30 other people would enter the same road from all 6 sides of the road when someone like her would walk by. So that's how they confuse us. You get me? These people have a life. They have a job. They're not going to walk out all the time. They're not going to be outside all the time. They're not going to be every customer we see. But if you overcrowd them, if you all of a sudden create a traffic accident in the road when they're walking by, now I'm going to look at the road, right? I'm going to see a cop, right? I'm going to see an ambulance, right? I'm going to say to God, here we go again. They're harassing me again. No, I didn't see that good person walk by me. It's that simple. Okay. Woo! I'm so tired. And there's so many of them walking by me now. Goodness. They just all walk out in a way that, I swear to God, you know they're not walking out normally. It's like they're working together, you get me? And they all do the same thing. They all at the same time put their head down at their phone. That's not normal. You get me? People always use their phone, but not at the same time. It's not going to look the same. It's creepy, okay? Because they want you to get scared and always watch them. And there you go. See? See? Do you see what I'm telling you? A lot of vehicles are driving by me right now who are currently right now not being used to be gang stalking. That's why these ones started to come out like a mob. Almost 6 people came out at the same time at different sort of intervals, and they came from different sides. That's what I'm saying. It's not hard to prove they're being used because it's not logical. They're coming from 6 sides. A human being, if they come from 6 sides because, right, it's some sort of building and people are coming from different angles or it's a road, well, okay, then I shouldn't see that all day. Do you agree? Because that's random. I see it over and over again. That's not rational. So you get me? They bring a lot of people out, usually from all sides of the road versus one area, because you're just going to look away then. Exactly when they demons know someone who's not a gang stalker, right, is driving by you or walking by you. Because if you see that, you're going to feel rejuvenated and happy and maybe talk to them like that. So even now when I was talking to you, I felt like too much evil energy was coming out. And you might say, well, they always walk by you. Exactly. They walked by me this whole day I was recording this, but I didn't feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because they're just useless. But when someone normal is driving or walking by us, in order to prevent us from seeing them, they walk by and there's this energy they do to their body. The human doesn't look like a person to you. It looks like a zombie. It looks like some sort of bad energy on their body. So you actually don't see them as a person anymore. And so because you're human, you're curious, you're not a spirit, you don't have, right? You don't understand the spiritual side. You're going to be like, what the hell is that? Okay, and they're grabbing my attention or anyone's attention, and now you don't see that good person was driving by you or whatever. And there you go, it's around rush hour, like 3 p.m. to nighttime. Those people, 90% of them are not gang stalkers, just so you know. The gang stalkers are like 5%. Literally, they only come out to gang stalkers in places where we sit for hours all day, like midday, right? But in the morning and from 3 p.m. to night, normal people are with you. They're driving, they're going home, they're living their life like that. Just go to nice, rich, healthy, beautiful places. So anyways, what I was saying is, what happened was there was this cop. I came outside, right? And I saw all of a sudden this energy on him. It's very evil. It's trying to get me to look away from him. Demons don't want me to look at people that I'm supposed to look at. Right? They make you look at the ones you shouldn't. So he said to me, pray for me. Can you believe that? So that's what I mean by people are talking to me. You cannot say it's not possible. Because do you believe someone can ask us to pray for them unconsciously or without saying anything? Yeah, right? I'm sure a lot of you can believe that. So that's what I mean. You guys might just feel the desire to pray for somebody. I actually hear it. Maybe you heard it too. I don't know. Only God knows what he gives you as a wisdom. But for me, because I'm not a regular human, and humans on a deep soul level know me. They know I'm someone that's close to God, and I actually can pray for you. I'm not your God, right? But I can pray for you, and my prayers are very strong. It's like, you get me? It's like, even though they're possessed and blind, and there's many of them are being used to harass me, it's like on some sort of deep levels, only God understands. They know something, not that human, you get me? They're sort of higher level. Only God knows where the higher level is, higher being or higher consciousness. That's what's asking me for prayer. They're not sitting there asking everybody. No, me. So can you believe that? Every day they use a cop to come outside and harass people, which is, again, the advice to you also. Just, even though for me it's different, right? For me, God is doing that sometimes. But for you, as a human being who actually is a victim to gang stalking, do actually pray for these people, because some of them are being used by demons and they don't want to be used. I told you already. An example would be when someone does something and they have to come and deal with it like a cop. He didn't do anything to the road and deal with that gang stalker. Correct? They forced him to come there. So they might mimic his body language and make you think they're all the same, when maybe they're just mimicking his body language, the ones who are the real gang stalkers. And now they want you to think that cop is just like that. So yes, he's not a good person. I don't think good people will be mixed with them in that sense. And if a good person was there, they'd be distinct. I know they're not a good person. But that moment they're not, you get me? They're not something actually harassing you, but they're being used. And there's too much darkness in their life. Some of these, that's what I'm saying. Humans need us to pray for them. I know we're all thinking, why don't they just go to God? What do they want from us? I don't know, okay? But due to the way things are created, they are just too weak. How about that? Can you believe I came up with that answer, that they're just too weak? I didn't know what to say to you, because I just saw someone walk by and I literally saw on his body language that he's weak right now. Can you believe that's how God just helped me finish my sentence, that he's weak? They're too weak. They don't have that sort of strength. So we need to pray for them sometimes like that. Again, that doesn't infringe on their right. It doesn't mean then they're going to say to God, I was weak, I couldn't pray, so how can you put me in hell? No. The weakness is their fault, okay? It's not the one that takes away your free will. It's just, you get me, right? It's just they need help, okay? How about that? And okay, you would agree God is just, right? Okay, so what would he do then? Exactly. He would only create that situation where someone would pray for you, in a situation where he's going to let someone pray for you, in a situation where it's fair and just for them to pray for you. It doesn't mean he, the God, right, didn't give you the right to pray for yourself, right? That's sort of free will. Because what if that person didn't pray for you? Exactly. Then that person would think God is not just to them, right? Because he limited them from praying for themselves, and someone has to pray for them. And if someone has to pray for them, then it's not fair, because what if the person doesn't want to pray for? No. God is, since he's the one who created that system, he's going to make sure someone does pray for you. You see what I mean? So that's your job, okay? And you do have the power to do it. So it doesn't mean, even if I was to pray for somebody, that they didn't pray for themselves. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean they don't have the ability. It just means they just want more. You just want help. Okay, so you would agree more is not bad. Okay, whatever. Okay, only God knows how that works. But just know it doesn't take away their free will. And it doesn't mean we are controlling them. And if we don't pray for them, they're doomed or something. No. Right? God is still going to give them the way to find their way. Okay, he's always going to give people a chance. Just because they wake up every day and look crazy and bad and criminal doesn't mean God didn't help them. Okay, God helps them. They just don't want to change. So he gives them so many chances, okay? And one of those ways is random people like me see you and pray for you, okay? It's just for me, the way I pray for you is different. Okay, so for that reason, I get attacked more since I've already been harassed by these demons. I don't know how they can tell, but God allows them, maybe, right? Because they can tell to some degree. I don't know what's going on, right? But the way they can tell, if you ask me, is I've seen it. I've seen when I pray for someone, let's say they're sitting outside, I'm in a building, I see them from the glass, they look so dead and miserable, I just pray for them. No matter how much I'm irritated with them, I just pray for them, right? My mercy takes over. Then I see their eyes are closing, like when you're sleepy, but from a place of love. You know when your eyes close, because you're feeling love come over you, the love that can come from just humanity or just love, right? Love is coming over them, mercy is coming over them. And their eyes, their body, that's how you know love is powerful, because the person becomes, sort of their body language becomes very loving. Not loving, sorry. They become very submissive to God in that sense. They're not seeing God, right? But it's like they're becoming submissive to him. That's what I see. But two, they're becoming very, I don't know what the word is, other than submissive, that would fit the situation. You get me? Because you're not a weak person, right? Love is strong. That moment. It's like, you know how their body language is just random? They're just, yeah, just walking, okay? Or maybe hostile or whatever, okay? But then their body language relaxes. Their shoulders relax. Their face relax. Their feet, everything relaxes. As if that moment they're just feeling. I don't know how to explain it. I wish I could just show you the body language with me mimicking it. But that body language changes to very moral. You get me? So that's how demons know. I told you they're not powerful. Whatever they know is very logical. It's just like if you and I could. No, it's just that they're invisible and can watch them, right? And we're not going to stare at people all day. So that's how they know. I saw it. The human is changing. They put their head down. They feel sad, about their sin. And it's like that moment, everything's going through their head. You get me? Their feet, and boom, something shakes. Their feet moves. There you go. He's attacking that demon or she or whatever is attacking them that moment. They're angry like that. So that's how demons know someone's praying for you, whether they're physically there or not. They don't, you get me? It's not about how do they know what's in my head? They just know the prayer reached this human they're possessing or they're looking at, because the person is actually changing in their physical demeanor. It's not something that happens and no one can see what your body just, all right? Okay, so if you've ever felt something come over you like that, right? Oh, this love, probably, right? Someone prayed for you, or God himself is doing something to your heart and mind. He's tugging at you. It's just not going to be the same, right? When God directly is doing something versus when someone's praying for you. When someone's praying for you, he's doing it, obviously, right? Whatever the prayer is asking. Yeah, but you get me? When he's doing it by himself, right? A human didn't say something and then, right, it reached God. It's not like that, but it's just God himself. That, of course, things are different then, right? You would agree? I don't know the difference, obviously. No, that's not something we need to worry about. But if you ever feel that love and mercy come over you and these good thoughts come over you, you need to change your life. You need to get up. Like actual instructions telling you what you really need to do. That's God's mercy, right? So it doesn't matter if it's from a prayer. It doesn't matter if it's something else he did. It's always him. Don't, right, worship his creation. Always know he's the merciful one to you. Yes, that person helped you. We want to obviously credit people for what they did. If you know maybe it's a prayer, always pray for them too. Like that. That's the way you want to pay it back. We should obviously be kind to each other, right? Like paying for each other at at a store when everyone's buying something at a drive-through. Like that, you can pay it forward. You can pray for them too. But okay, don't worship them, obviously. Your Lord is the one that taught them that, and the mercy is coming from him. You get me? If I sit here right now and I say something, that doesn't actually matter. How did the words transfer into something that actually helped you and affected you? God, right? He did it. So, okay, I'm nothing, right? Okay. So like that, the only way to get out of the huge distress I was going through, where demons were just controlling everything, is I just prayed for these people. I just prayed for my city. I just prayed for my country. And I don't mean I did it in an unjust way, right? No, I did it justly. I told God, rapists and murderers, wherever they are, kill them, my Lord. What the hell are you thinking? I'm just, okay? But I prayed accordingly to the just way we should treat everybody. So I don't mix his creation. I don't just say, my Lord. Please, hell no. What are you talking about? I'm a righteous person in the morality, how I think. And everyone right now is walking like they just need help. You know, when patients come into your office or something, if you're a doctor, that's how these humans right now are walking outside, which is what people who are being gangsta need to see. These people are sick spiritually, okay, morally. They just come outside. That's why they look dead to you. They just come outside. They really, if someone could help them pray, if someone could pray for them, they take it. Some of them are crazy, obviously. Don't talk to them. That's why God doesn't ever tell us to preach to people. He tells us usually to pray for them, right? And the preach is when they want to, right? When they want to listen, like that. Because if you just approach them and say, well, this is good information, they're going to love it. Hell no, they're going to love it, okay? There's evil in them. Get it? Even though you might think that doesn't make sense. You think to me, but they don't. You just told me they're happy. Right? When that mercy comes over them, they take it, they change. So then why would they hate it when you preach to them or talk to them? Because that's their deeper conscience that wants to change, not their surface type of identity. That's the wicked one. That's the one that likes to go outside and harass people and be mean and hateful. And you get me? They haven't overcome the evil they've chosen. They haven't disagreed with it and said, hell no, I'm not going to be like this anymore. So you get me? They haven't reached that level. But since good is correct and evil is wrong, there you go. That's why deep down is going to want to come into their heart. They just want good sooner or later. They just deep down, that's what they want. Okay, but exactly, it's not gonna be something that you will see when you actually approach them. Number one, because they haven't done the right thing. You get me? But I swear by God's name, if you truly ask me what the real issue is, I know it doesn't make sense. It's because that moment, again, it doesn't infringe on their human right? Since they have to choose what they want. That moment, whatever is possessing them, those demons attack them. Since, you get me, they can see you preaching to them or talking to them or just preach. It doesn't always mean the religious side. It can just mean the just typical normal side. Hey, what's wrong with you, man? Why you being mean lately? You're just trying to consult them morally, right? That demon, right, is watching you through their body, right? And other demons overall are just watching you. Now they're going to think, hell no. And they're going to just possess this person. That's why, what do you usually see? Is it every behavior? Do they get a gun or something? Do they necessarily, do they eat? Do they drink something? What do they usually do? Combative. They argue with you in a way that you and I would say. That human usually doesn't argue with people, correct? They're usually very open-minded. They listen. Okay, but when you talk about morality or changing or religious stuff, right, the argument is different. I'm tired. The argument is different. It's combative in a way where it seems like it's not them, right? It's like they listen to you. You can tell sometimes their face is agreeing with it or likes it, but they question you in a very weird way. And then two, combative in the sense that it's narcissistic, right? And they may not necessarily be extremely narcissistic. You might then not understand why it seems narcissistic, because demons are narcissistic. You get me? That moment. And again, there you go. You might be thinking, but aren't they taking away that human's free will? Why are they taking over and doing what they want through them? Why are they doing that to us when we do that to... No. That human hasn't reached it. They haven't reached a point where when the demon said to them, right, you were talking to them, right, you were giving them good wisdom. Okay, you were calling them to be a good person. Whether you use religion or not, the good parts of religion, right, not the immoral stuff, like perversion, all the filth, whatever. Right, we're telling them to just go to God, right? That moment, right, the human is thinking and the demon is thinking. There's two living beings that are thinking. They're listening to you. The demon gets to talk to them. Okay, the demon said, hey, don't listen to this. What the hell is this? And they remind them of emotions and thoughts that this human sees their free will, that this human has already agreed with. Envy, hatred. So they remind them that they hate maybe women, right? Maybe their sex is deep down. But they remind them that maybe they hate children, but like they just have hatred, correct? And the envy, which actually hatred comes from envy first, right? So sexism actually means envious of that gender, and then you become hateful to them. So it's not hate. You get me? Like as if they think they're weak or done. No, they're envious of them, okay? I know it doesn't make sense. Because you might think, why would a male be jealous of a female? They don't really have something in society, right, that gives them... It's not about society, guys. It's just a gender. You would agree. Both genders have great things, right? They both have greatness. Okay. Anytime you see something bad, it's just evil, or just it's not evil, but maybe you just don't like it. You don't mix with it like a personality type. You're not obviously gonna click with everybody. That's normal. Don't forget that's something God created. You get me? He created different personalities. Again, we're all supposed to get along with human beings, right? If you're obviously a good normal person, anyone can get along with you. But personality, do you agree you have to pick someone? Can you pick? Come on, guys. Are we going to be honest? Let's say 9 billion of the human race were good people. No, right? Would you actually be friends with 9 billion? You're not going to meet them all anyway. Again, that's not the reason God did it. I'm just saying, okay? Since there's so many of us, see how logical God is? It's not to say he's dumb, right? He's scared for you or something. No, it's to make it easy for you. Because there's so many of us, we're a species, he makes it easy for you. He creates personalities. So that then you actually pick people that you're very familiar and not familiar, goodness, similar in your personality, what is connects with. It doesn't mean you're the same personality. It could be opposite, right, personality. But okay, you get me, it clicks very nicely, They have your the strength that you lack, and like that. That's sort of opposite. And okay, as human beings, right, if you're obviously a good, decent person, you can get along with anybody, obviously. It doesn't matter, but that's just getting along, goodness. In order to pick people, God creates ones that are very close to our personality, what we like, and that's how you become really good friends with somebody. And that one is like a second level friend, right? You're not really best friend like that. only demons come in and right make people bad. And again, they choose to be bad, but just you get me, they sort of inspire them. So only when evil comes in and humans, some of them choose it, then that obviously impairs their ability to be friends with people who normally they're supposed to be friends with. Duh, because you're a bad person now. But other than evil, right? It's just God's way of making things easy for us. And since you would marry one person, right? You're not gonna. You get me? It's not. That's disgusting, right? You're not gonna marry them and divorce and then marry another. What the hell, right? It's not like. It's not like, right? Okay, you get me? You're one person, so you're gonna marry one person, okay? So for that reason, how does God make it easy for you to pick? Exactly. So He creates personalities that match with you, such as many human beings God taught them through studying things like Myers-Briggs, right? Or MBTI, right? Like that. But we're human beings. You get me? All personalities will get along if that person is a good person. But you get me? But we're not gonna click. We're not gonna like each other very well because that's not good. It's just too much. You get me? Because we have our own individuality, and God just wants us to be with a group that's similar to us. You get me? But do we have the ability to click with those we don't necessarily click with? Yes, that's a choice. Goodness, we're human. It's just think of it as He just made it easy for us. He's not doing that to limit us. We can always go above that. You get me? It's your choice. Okay, I hope you didn't misunderstand what I was saying. I'm a creation too. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But anyways, that human, right? The demon tells them bad things about you when you're calling them to good, and then they agree with it. To them, it's just thoughts. You get me? So they agreed with it. And then they're just going to be mean to you. They don't want to listen. But that, you get me? Since that deep down, good is correct and evil is wrong, they're always going to have consciousness. There you go. Attack them and say, what did you just do? You know what I mean? It's going to attack them and make them feel guilty. And they can, again, keyword again, choose. It's always their choice. They can choose to go with that guilt that they should feel, right? Reach back to you again, or just say sorry to God and seek forgiveness if that person won't ever return, right? They can do what's necessary after the situation. They obviously always have that choice to remedy the situation. So that's why many people, they change after many years or months of praying for them, which I have experienced in, because I've prayed for, a lot of people. And it takes some time to change. And some, I swear by God's name, I pray for them one time. Instantly, I see their life improve. A few days later, I see they got a job. And they were homeless. I saw them in the street. And do you see what God does? You see how cool He is? I don't know. I'm not saying He does that necessarily for other people. I don't know. But He probably does in some ways. It's up to Him. For me, since I'm obviously supposed to help you guys, I see the work. What I do to help you, right? I see the result because God wants to teach me, correct? Because you might ask me a question and I don't know. That's not good. So He shows me things for that reason. So if I prayed for somebody, again, it's not to be arrogant and tell you I pray for people. I'm teaching you things, right? What happens when we pray for others. So I have to give you examples. I have to use myself. Okay, when I did that, God sometimes, not always, it's not necessary, brings those human beings to my environment. And He shows me the success of that prayer. You get me? They actually have a job now. And I'm just laughing. I'm just thinking, great. It's like I'm congratulating them, but they don't know. I swear to God, I talk to them just like if I was congratulating you. Good job. Congrats. I literally say that to them softly or in my mind. And you might think, well, that's very loving, but that doesn't really matter. It does. I told you guys. You guys just don't remember me. You don't know me. You're blind for me, but you do know me. You do know who I am, okay? So for that reason, for me, it's different. And I believe as human beings, we're all like that. We're connected. You get me? We're a connected species. We're just not awake to what that person's thinking, right? Always, who's being very merciful to us. So we're not going to know, right? That's what sort of being absent means, right? Or sort of blind. But we're awake, right? You're going to feel it more if you're awake. And that is, even humans have their own level, not the same level I have with you, but you guys have your own level of feeling each other's compassion. How many times do you just feel like someone was helping you, but they didn't do anything directly to help you? Just them passing by helped you feel safe, or they said hello the right time. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't always mean they're just a nice person and you, thank God, right, met them that moment and it helped you. No. They might have actually intentionally said hello because they felt you were anxious. Do you get what I mean? That's what I mean. We're connected. The ones, right, who are, we're connected basically. That doesn't mean that evil humans are connected to us. Ew, no. They lost their humanity. They're disconnected from us. When they're operating from a place of morality, right, when they also are doing good, That's when they get connected with us. See how nice God is, how sort of nice he is to them, even though he doesn't have to. Not he doesn't have to, goodness, sorry. Even though, right, that's not like something we would say would be unjust according to our understanding if he didn't do that, right? That's normal for him to not do that. But he's so loving, he's so merciful. He gives them a choice to also enjoy this sort of blessing with us. You know, when you're a teacher and you're creating some cool classroom party for your students, like that. Imagine leaving some out, you know, or being merciful, even though they're horrible students. And after they've said sorry, after, right, maybe they went through, or they need to go, like that. Imagine just giving them a choice. Or they didn't do that. They didn't even do good. They're still horrible bullies or something. Imagine if that teacher allows them to help somebody that moment in that classroom who needs help, right? In a way that maybe only they can help you, or something like that. Like that. Would you not agree that's mercy on that teacher to do that for that student? Because the student is bad. You get me? If you say to them, no, you're not going to do this because you're a piece of garbage. Okay. You get me? Is that wrong? No, but it's just that, is that not merciful? That you give them a chance to feel what love feels like. You let them do something good. Okay, so that's how at a creator level God is, right? That's something he taught us, right? At a creation level, some things he taught us. He has it at his creator level, is a high level, right? We can't mimic it. And some things, obviously, his own qualities because he's God. Okay, so you get me? As a creator, he has that quality where he lets evil people every day, if they want to join the good side that moment, it's their choice. If they really want to do good that moment, God used them many times to help me, right? In a moment where they were being possessed, and I could feel it. Their body wants to move and approach me and help me, but something is pulling them back. Do you see? That's their thoughts. Demon cannot take away your free will. He just takes it. He or she is just attacking your mind. So it's like, no, you get me? If the human says, hell no, get out of my face, you know, and they just want to be good, they will be good. God is not going to take away their right, okay? So he doesn't take away your right. It's just you have to overcome the evil within you. Common sense. So it's like that. God lets these people do good. If they want to do good, he can, right, help them reach out to you or do what they need to do, or say to God, my Lord, that person, someone just randomly approached me, talked to me about God today. I treated them in a nasty way, but like that, they can do that, you know? No one ever takes away their ability to keep coming back until the day they die. So you would agree that's very merciful. I don't even remember what I was trying to talk about. I went into this explanation. I kind of forgot the example I was giving. Everyone's gone now. So I'm leaving now. Been recording for 2 hours and a half. I'm going to end this episode. But yeah, a lot of people who are not necessarily gang stalking that moment are around me. I just can't tell, because when they drive by and just write the other types of ways that demons stalk me or persecute me, it's just I use name for this one. I say gang stalk, and others I don't, because I don't know what they're called. The demons who follow prophets, what do we call them? We don't know. We just call them persecuting, right? But this one, there's a name that we can sort of kind of use. It's not, I don't think it comes from God, but right? So that's why it seems like I only go through gang stalking. No, that's what normal people can go through. How did I know God's religion is corrupted? How did I learn all this stuff that obviously only I know? Because all types of demons follow me, okay? I'm putting gang stalking because it's actually to help those who go through it. They don't understand. But also exactly other wisdoms that God showed me. Such as I cannot believe what they do. Is what demons want to do in the future, to torment everyone. So yeah, as I was saying, my city, I prayed for it in a way that's very powerful. And it's working. People are outside and they're getting very friendly. They're very moral with their body language is not demonic. They're very nice to each other. When they see me, they don't look at me. They look down. They walk by like a human does, right? I don't look at them, obviously, right? And treat them like a demon. It's like, do you get me? That thing demons took away from them, the decency, they're getting it again. I see more community events that they're doing now, and I can tell they're doing it because of God bringing them together to help them, to help the poor. Many of them are coming outside, building their homes, they're doing nice things. You can tell it's people who are possessed, what they really want. You might be like, I don't know who's possessed. It's just you, the average person. If you feel like you're becoming a bad person more and more, sexist, perverted, hateful, strange, you get a lot of these thoughts to be violent, and you know you're dying. You know you're not operating normally anymore. Like that, it's you. It's you. That when I pray, if you are in my city, finally that mental stuff is going to stop hurting you. That's a demon. And you're going to really want to go outside and take a walk. You're going to want to say hi to your neighbor. You're going to, just like this man who's fixing his home, do something productive. You're not going to go on porn. You're not going to do drugs. You're not going to waste your time. You're not going to stare at people in envy. You're going to say, hey, man, what's up? I guarantee you, like many of these people who are possessed, they just follow me. Get it? They just possessed to bother me and other people all day. They just have no life. Okay, but now they're saying hello to each other. They're talking. They're learning. They're getting jobs. They're doing things. Exactly what God would want, right? Exactly what you and I would say is what they should be doing with their life. They can't do it. They can't do it. The prayer is supposed to get you to that point. God's mercy is going to take over. It's going to help you overcome those evil thoughts. Oh, I'm tired. People are going to stop working together for the agenda of demons, because demons have agendas. I told you guys, they don't always know they're helping demons, right? They just know the personal sin they committed. So obviously that's only what they're being responsible for, right? But they don't know when they came outside that someone else was made to come outside. They don't know all the stuff. Their one individual, right, behavior connected with other people's individual behaviors and ruined the city. You get me? So, whoa, my goodness, I dropped something. Sorry. Okay. I'm walking right now, so I need to stop. But yeah, that's how God helped me to come back. You might think it's easy, right? Oh, just you're a very close person to God. I mean, how's that? You might think it's easy. If you knew what God put me through, you would not think it's easy. You would congratulate me for coming back and praying for these people. And again, it's not hard for me. I obviously care about them. I still pray for them, no matter how evil they are. I want good for people. But every time I pray for them, you get me, I got attacked. Bad things happen. The city got even more criminal, more dangerous, more crazy. Now, there's hardly any way that cops are blowing their siren. They just have peace. And do you remember what God did last night? Oh my God. God knows what he's doing. He woke me up, right? Around like 2 a.m. or something. See, it didn't have to be that moment. It could have been a different moment. I see these cars parked outside the neighborhood. They usually guard these stores and stuff. There you go. Because of the horrible things demons are using them for. They want to put me in jail that way. You get me? They don't know who I am. Right? They're blind for me, so they're not going to feel what they're supposed to feel. They're just empty vessels. They just possess them, use them. Okay. So when I prayed for them, right? Because a cop actually came outside to a park. He literally said to me, pray for me. Meaning his conscience. He's not looking at me or talking to me. And it worked. He didn't leave until I prayed for him, just so you know. When I was done, and as I was praying for him, something was attacking me mentally with thoughts, but then it was attacking the neighborhood. Like the whole neighborhood. Random beep, random horn, random this. People were just starting to fight because it was a distraction. You get me? And then that's it. I sealed the prayer. I have to seal my prayers, otherwise they get attacked. I seal the prayer for them. I say something like, I seal this prayer, right? Now until the day of judgment and forever. For you, right? Instead of whoever I'm praying for. I also include their bloodlines in the name of God Almighty. Right? And then instantly I get released from all the mental, emotional torture, everything. The environment stops being crazy. And everything is like wind. It just becomes peace. Like wind takes over and just quiet. That's it. And he drove off. And I said to God, wow. That's why demons, right? You gave them this power to persecute me. They're trying to work so hard with the power you gave them to constantly make me forget who I am. You know? I can't remember. That obviously I'm actually not a victim to these things. I'm just being put in it to learn and help people one day. So then I should always walk around and operate like myself, right? And pray for who I can, do whatever God wants me to do spiritually, not just pray. But, you see, I also will start to feel just like regular people who are being gang stalked, the way they mentally are constantly focused on the harassment. And then since I go through other types of programs of persecution, not just that one, I'm obviously gonna go through more suffering, and that means I'm gonna get attacked more mentally to constantly, right, see just what they want me to see. I told you it's not hard. They're constantly putting thoughts and feelings into our head of what every vehicle is feeling versus the human. I don't even get to judge the person. They just tell me what the car is thinking. And since this is spiritual, you're not supposed to agree with it. They actually do it, you know? So it gives them power. That's why they tell us something before we see it with our own eyes. They want us to say, okay. And they want to do it. So we agreed with it, right? Again, it's not your fault, goodness. They just do that anyway. But you don't want to give them that sort of agreement. You don't want to agree with something bad. You want to always think, hell no. That's a normal person. Like that, they're not going to bother me. You always want to operate from a good place. And right now, they're making cops drive me by 2 times. It's just that they're putting bad energy on them. They're putting this bad energy on them. But that's an energy. The cop looks normal. They're just driving. You get me? But see, if I'm always seeing bad energy, evil energy, and thoughts telling me, don't look at them. Oh, my goodness. Guess what I become? Exactly. I don't even judge the person anymore. And you're not going to be like, that's your fault. Why? Don't blame me, okay? They really are harassing me. Right? That person really will be mean to me and bother me. It's not lying to me. It's just I have to overcome it. You get me? My mercy has to overcome that. You know? They are possessed to be bad. They are possessed. Okay? They usually do that to people. So no. And the facts are not lying to us. They're just lying to us that everybody's doing that. You get me? It's not everybody. But if you overcome that, and you do exactly what many people have said, but they don't come from a religious place. They always tell you spread positivity, right? If you come from a very love type of way, not weakness, right? Not like, oh, I'm going to be nice. No. There's bad people in this world. You can't walk around like that. What the hell? No, you're just operating from a place of the type of love that is like mercy. You're not negative. You're not bitter. You're not angry. You're like that. Good emotions, good thoughts. But even if you do that, it's only going to do to some degree. Right? It's just some. They still have witchcraft. They're going to still ruin your city. At some point, you see how logical it is? They're going to get you so angry, so bitter, and it's logical. There's nothing wrong with you. You're really being tortured. That then, now you're going to operate from a place of negativity. See how logical that is? Okay. But if the person stops that, because demons are using physical and spiritual tactics, right? They're attacking you physically with, right, living person. There's a physical way, right, to attack someone. Physical, like this world, something you can see and touch. And then spiritual, correct? So you got to also use spiritual, which is exactly. You're going to pray. But you have to, and again, that doesn't mean you're going to pray for those who bullied you. It's not this weakness type of thing. No, you're praying that your city, your state, wherever you are being tortured, that God intervenes divinely. Look at the word, intervene, right? Because he obviously gave them the free will to attack you. It doesn't mean he's okay with it. Obviously God gave demons free will to attack all of us. You're just praying that God takes away their power, yes. But in the moment, you see, that's not over yet. In the moment, you're praying that he intervenes and brings his mercy to the city, the state, the country, right? Wherever you want to pray for. Where people start to operate from a place of love, doing the right thing, communities, good things. Like, I don't know how to explain, right? The way I said it's hard to explain. I'll do that in other episodes, inshallah. But basically, right, inshallah, You're just praying that the opposite happens. That people finally start, just like, right, the Bible could teach you, for example, that people come together not to attack you and each other anymore and to ruin their life in ways that, right, they know and don't know, because they don't know sometimes. And there you go, that they from now on don't come together for demons' agendas, but they come together for God's intention for them. That every day they wake up, this city, people operate from whatever God wants them to do. They operate from a place of what God wanted them to be. But see, it's not hard. I'm sorry, it's not hard. It's not what I was saying. Sorry. It's very hard to just pray for that and it just happens. Because, right, they're evil on the heart. Okay, so guess what the first prayer had to be that I had to do for them? I prayed for them that, exactly, they repent, get God's help to become good people, get their destiny, because they've lost their destiny, right? This is who they were supposed to be, right? They just get their destiny, their life. They get help with whatever is in their life, that moment that they need to, like that. First I focus on the human, right? What they need. In order to first operate in a way that then if I pray for the city, they can actually accomplish it, right? So yes, they have bad energy, they're driving by me, but that's their demon. If I say hi to that cop, he'll probably say hi to me in a sort of absent way where he's like, oh, hi. He doesn't understand because they're possessed, right? That moment in a way that is not their usual way. These humans are obviously possessed because of sin, right? I told you guys the entire human race, 90-something% of except few are possessed. Okay, so possession is something that's always there. Okay, but this way, you get me, when your city is being attacked, when bad things are happening, that means demons are ruling your city, your state, your country. That type of possession, a higher level. So they're still going to be gone, right? But love can operate. People can just have peace now. Literally, they're just going to treat each other kindly and lovely. They're not going to fight anymore. Things like that, like, like you wish good for your children. You're praying for the group, you know? Oh, God. And now I know, right, all the stuff, all the noise, everything that's happening, it's not gang stalking. They just sensitize me to it. It's because I'm in a city where you have how you expect, right? They sensitize us. They make everything seem like that. So now I can relax and see these same things, right? So it's like they've become lifeless bodies. They just come outside, but the demon can't use them like they wanted to. Okay, then the next stage is, right, God delivers me or frees me, and now they're not even like that anymore. Everyone's absent, minding their business. Whoever's not supposed to be outside is not going to be outside. Whoever's not supposed to come to my workplace is not like that. Everything's just going to be peace. And when people see me, they're going to be normal with me like that. That's sort of the finale of my prayers being accepted. And I obviously prayed for God that all the people who really are, if I don't know who they are, who really are being gang stalked, that's actually out there, right? That He helps them, that He gives them the same wisdom to understand, right? It's not to just pray for ourselves. Because what we do as human beings, sadly, religion lost this wisdom, right? That when we feel attacked, we have to pray for those that are being used, and we have to pray for the city, the state, the environment, like that. Even their bloodlines, too, that helps. You don't have to have, but you know what I mean? Instead of exactly what we all usually learn to do, we just pray for ourselves. Okay, but think about it. If you pray for yourself, that matters, obviously, goodness. It's just that then, since the demons are not losing their power over you, it takes time, they get to attack you again. So the prayer works in a way where it's like, you prayed, okay, they backed off, but then they come back. You get me? So that's why then when you pray for whoever they're using against you, you see, some of the extreme vehicles you hear behind me are the gang stalkers. You get me? Something just enters them and they drive crazy. But 95% of the vehicles are driving very peacefully. Do you see what I'm saying? So all they do is they sensitize me to the horrible room, right? And there you go. Another one just did that occasionally. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vehicles behind them that are very peaceful. But just one car did that room, right? But it's witchcraft, guys. It's not physical. My mind is not like your mind. I see things differently. I'm going to see this horrible evil energy, and it feels like the 6 vehicles or the 5 vehicles behind that one were doing the same thing, or that they are just like him or something or her. That's it. And no, that's not because we're dumb. It's because at the beginning of gang stalking, they actually do make 10, 20 vehicles. You get me? Because they actually make sure they find each other in the road without knowing. They actually make 20-something vehicles actually right next to each other, and they all make sounds. So at first, they actually make you see that. That is a huge number. Okay, and that's this moment, if it's just one of them, okay, you're just going to assume they're the same. You get me? They're all doing it together. Because the energy, okay. So that's why you have to stop watching energy. You have to stop listening to the thoughts and feelings in your head, whether you're being gang stalked or you're being attacked in other ways. All of us are being attacked in the mind, right? We all have thoughts, obviously, bad thoughts. We have to sort of, I know it doesn't make sense, right? You're not going to focus on them. You're not going to focus on humans. You're going to focus on yourself, but you're not going to observe yourself. You're not going to be, you know what I mean? You're not going to be hyper aware of yourself or focus on your own feelings. I'm not even focused on my own feelings and thoughts right now. Because if I get into my head, there you go, I get attacked in my head, right? Okay, so now they're going to make it seem as if people are doing things they're not doing. It's like I go back to how I was when I was younger. I just operate from a place of love. I don't know how to explain. It's very hard to explain these things. I'm just different. You get me? So then whatever happens around me, it's not going to affect me. I know what that meant. I know what that human meant. And it's like my brain is active. As I, go back and forth as I record this and human beings are passing me by, I'm literally telling myself, I know it doesn't make sense. I'm not doing it consciously, but it's like I'm doing it consciously, but it's happening at the subconscious level. I'm like telling myself the truth of the situation. No, they're not. No, they're not. Oh, that's a normal car. Oh, he's going home. Like, it's like my mind is doing that for me once I start to do that for myself. I don't know how to explain. Goodness, it's too much work and I'm tired. But I'll do that in other episodes, inshallah. You get me? How you operate, what you feel, right, is obviously going to help. But I told you guys, no matter what you do, it's not going to make a difference. Because they're just going to get more witchcraft, right? They're just going to get more witchcraft to attack you more. It's very easy. They will get you to a point where they really will take over the city too much, you know? And you really will lose yourself. Okay. So prayer, you see, this is when you cannot take out praying. We have to pray for the city and for these people and for everyone else and for ourselves. And now, you guys might think, why should I do that? I hate these people. Think of it this way, okay? I'm not thinking to myself that, oh, I'm necessarily helping these people. Do you know how I think? I think to myself that demons are invisible. They don't have a life or a body. Okay, so for that reason, I'm thinking to myself, how are they attacking me? Oh, you're using a human against me. Okay, so wait a minute. Did that human technically choose to harass me? No. You just did something to them. You blind them and you... Okay. Yes, they're guilty for what... Do you guys get what I'm saying? Why are they possessing these people in order for them to harass us? If possessing them doesn't make a difference, okay? So we can't really say 100% it's really the human. We have to agree there's something using them, right? Because if it doesn't possess them, then these people don't harass other people. So do you see what I'm saying? I'm holding them responsible for what they do, but still, something is in them. Do you agree? Okay, that's what the Bible says. We don't fight with flesh and blood. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You have to agree something is using them, attacking them, controlling them. Okay, so if I think to myself, human beings are not attacking me. Demons are. So who should I get rid of? Demons. And if I pray every day, it doesn't make a difference. It takes time. Okay, wait a minute. If God right now took away these human beings from the demon, right? They're not allowed to possess them? Would I be harassed? No. Oh, so your weapon is not really the witchcraft. It's not really the powers you have. Because exactly, you can't just come and use that witchcraft and torment me in this city. You need a human body. So you get me? You can do all the witchcraft you want to me. You can curse me to be harassed this way or that way. You can curse me to be poor. You can curse me to get sick. But technically, nothing's going to work in your favor unless you come to me in a human body. If I strip that out of you, if I take the human away from you, I pray for them. Now you don't have anybody to harass me with. Yay! And I'm going to also have more energy now to pray and more time to focus on fixing my life. And guess what? I help them. Obviously, I'm human. I care for them. I help them too. It's like, you get me. You're thinking. Their weapon is the human, okay? Always remember. Demons, whatever they do to us, rarely affects us, except the way they're using a human or animal or pest. Is the body. They need a body. So if we pray for these people, don't think you're weak or anything. Remember, you're defeating the enemy that way. And that's going to at least help you overcome praying for them because you hate them so much because they just yesterday did something horrible. Don't think of it as a weakness, that you're somehow helping. No. You're fighting the real problem. And that, right, mercy you extended, just so you guys know, I've also prayed for demons. Islam teaches that to some degree. Not Christianity, though. That, they can change and stuff. I don't really know it's possible, but only God knows. Because where the hell do they come from? They look like they came from hell or something. Why would praying for them matter? I don't know. We don't care. But I also prayed that if demons want to change, whoever wants to take the prayer, I also extended it to demons. So you see how powerful this is? It's a level of mercy that they don't want anyone to ever reach. They don't want anyone else to ever learn that. Exactly. There's evil, there's a group, but how do you destroy the group? You make the group turn against each other. You don't bring another group. It just causes more chaos. Instead, you want the group to deconstruct and stop working together, right? So, okay, if some of those groups, some become good people, the evil ones now don't have anyone to work with. They become less and less. It's like, and okay, you might be like, well, there's still some of them. I know, but that's because some will always be good. But at least they're weak. At least, do you see how logical that is? Since you agree with me, the evil is still out there. The answer to that is, yes, it's out there. But then these groups are helping you against it. So yes, this group attacked you, right? This group actually attacked you, yes. But then this group helped you. That's how my life was before gang stalking, at least. Bad people come to my jobs, harass me, but then there were some coworkers and some customers who truly loved me and helped me. That's what I don't have now. I don't have anybody who can stop this and, hey, leave her alone. There's just nobody. So there you go. Now I can distinguish them in my environment because the mental is gone, because I complained to God and told him, where is the knowledge? He's showing that to me. But 2, he's showing me they obviously are in certain places. I need to go find them. And the 3, it happened many times when I was very young, without me using any spiritual or prayer or anything. I was just being myself. You get me? I wasn't a very angry person, obviously, or anything ever. But they try to get you to be reactive. Okay, but I used to be sort of unaffected. So someone would harass me at a job, or usually at my job. They approach me, these creepy males, usually Muslim. I know it's crazy. They're possessed, whatever. Okay, and obviously now it's anybody, right? It doesn't matter the religion. I'm just telling you, they like to sensitize you first, a group, so you hate them or something. Right? You get me? It's just they're weird. They don't want you to know it's demonic, and right? Other people will harass you again and stuff. So I need to hurry up, right? When I say they're Muslim, I mean like the customers. The co-workers then would be non-Muslim. You get me? They just use everybody in a certain way. They want to sensitize me. So my customers who harass me were usually Muslim. You get me? But the ones who are like co-workers with me were non-Muslim, and they're gonna then be nice to me. Like, what? You get me? But then when I'm a customer, then they use everybody. They want to sensitize you so that you always live in fear of the same scenario. You get me? So you don't just enjoy your life. Okay, so for that reason, you get me? It's not about Muslim, non-Muslim. No. It's just to make you anxious of that group every time you see them, to anticipate it, right? It's not about harassing you, because they obviously can just use anybody. Oh, I need to hurry up. See, right now I'm getting a lot of evil thoughts. A lot of thoughts telling me, hurry up, because I'm in sort of like traffic. Because there's a lot of good people here. They want to always make me leave. They always want to make me rush. They always make me feel stressed. But other times when it's just them, I don't feel that. You see? Because they want me to think there's more of them or something. When there's good people in the road, that's why they're trying to rush me. So I don't see them. I don't maybe look inside a car or something and see someone just enjoying themselves, minding their business, just eating like that. Who's not like them. Okay, anyways. What was I saying? I need to hurry up. I forgot. Sorry, I'm just going to end it here. It's too much. But, goodness, should I remember it? So yeah, when I was younger, right? Because I was sort of absent, you could say something evil or mean and I'm just absent, right? I don't actually feel the way you want it. I don't get angry like quickly because I know you're weird anyway. I lost that part of me. You get me? Because I started to have the other quality, which I've obviously always had. But you get me? As I get older, you would agree I would do that more. I discipline. I tell the human, what the hell did you just say? I try to discipline like that. I don't mean confronting or reactive. No, something moral. You tell them what the hell's wrong with you. Try to stop them. That is not good when you're harassed all the time, right? Okay, anyways, like that. The more you talk and confront the human who's heavily possessed, and also those who are actually mentally ill, they don't know how to listen. They're just combative. You get sick. It's something evil always knows what to say back to you because it's not a person. And they gaslight you then. They make it seem as if You forgot what just happened, even though it was a few seconds ago. That quiet, that calmness, that pausing that I've always had. I'm just a calm person. They want to take that away from anybody who could have that at their human level. And from, whoever's in it, right? These weird witchcrafts. Because that's what's going to allow you to be like, I'm just going to move away. You get me? There's going to be times you speak, right? You tell someone, hey, that was not normal. Don't do that again. But then you move on. You get me? You're not going to keep talking to them like that. They want you to keep talking because they'll gaslight you and try to put you in jail. I'm not joking. They're weird. You get me? So they want your brain to get sick because you're getting harassed all day. And other people who are getting harassed all day, or maybe for you, it's not humans that made you sick, right? And sensitized and anxious or uncomfortable. Maybe it's just life. Maybe you did drugs or other things. It doesn't matter. It's always demons' fault. They taught you that stuff. So anyways, there were times that I remember in the past, these demons would possess these people, harass me, and then all these other customers would look at them and be like, what? Like that. So then they try to make me think those customers don't care about me. They try to confuse me. But that was a time that I could see that those people, get it? They're possessed too. I wouldn't say they're good people, but they still, that moment, were very moral. That moment, they were helping me. You get me? They didn't hear what these people were saying. Usually they, for example, at a job, they would come to me and speak Somali. Okay, my customers are not Muslim. They don't know what they're saying and they're not Somali. Okay, so they just felt it, right? Because that's our conscience. That's how God makes us help each other, right? They got so scared. Those males that would approach me and insult me, right, as I'm just standing there minding my business. They don't want to speak in English because because that's when I actually had people who are nice and normal and good around me. And ones who are evil, but they're just not possessed that moment to be against you. But when they ruin your life, you get me? So then they're scared. They're scared, so they're not going to always be obvious. They would always try to approach me, for example, if I was a cashier, just in my own little register. When they think I'm isolated. So that was easy, right? But then when they harass your life so much, you lose everything. You go to random cities. You don't know where you're going, right? You didn't grow up. They're like, okay, now they think it's easy. Make you think everybody's the same. And mentally agree that somehow these people are all working together or something. No, they're not. They did this witchcraft to me in 2019 that if you ask me what the name is, it's called hyper-awareness. I just am hyper-aware, Again, the hyper-awareness is when I'm being harassed. So it's not, you get me? If I'm not being harassed, then I'm not hyper-aware. So it's not some sort of sickness or anything. I'm not explain. I'm hyper-aware of the people with bad intention around me. So there's nothing wrong with me. It's true. But I'm hyper-aware, you get me? Well, before I just knew, and I can enjoy and be focused on myself and my own thoughts, right? But now I'm just hyper aware. Okay, so first they made me hyper aware, and then they started gang stalking. Because exactly, then you can lie to me and keep telling me everybody's gang stalking me because they all are vehicles. They make the same noise, right? And when they're not, right, necessarily harassing, you agree they're just driving normally. Exactly. They just want us to think that they're the same. It doesn't matter. They just want us to think their heart is the same. We don't know that, goodness. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here. They try to put me in bad places where I don't necessarily get to see that experience anymore when I was young, where someone always stood up for me. They possess too, but they're just never gonna harass me. You get me? The next day they could harass me. It's like that. It's so weird. But when I was younger, they were actually decent people around me. And that's when demons then always wanted to isolate me first and then bother me. So maybe if I was an employee and I was in a certain section of, the worker area, whatever, that's when then they would bring some creepy humans, right? And then they're just trying to be creepy, try to get in my personal space because that's easy, right? It's just like what a criminal does. They have to only come out and do bad behavior when they think you're alone. Are you a weak person? No. The people that gang stalking technically, or anybody that demons are following in these types of ways, are very strong, assertive people. It's just that that's what they're relying on. They hope you beat them up or do something and go to jail. Okay, so it's not about treating you like a weak person or a prey or anything. It's simply exactly to get you to be violent or react or something like that. It's just common sense. They're trying to get you to sort of get off that sort of calm where you would just deal with the situation, just forget about it, just move on. And certain times, don't say that again. Don't do that again. But you do it in that very powerful, right? Like a parent type way. Don't do that again. You're very mature. And you move on versus, hey, you know what I... Because yes, these things are healthy to say. But if it's something that really wants to accuse you, then it sort of makes them harass you again and again and again. You get me? In real life, you can talk any way you want. But when someone's very demonic versus just, yes, they're always possessive, they're doing bad behavior. But when they're demonic, right, it feels like something else is there. It's not really human. That's when you don't want to like tell them what to do or approach them. You get me? It's not healthy because they're not trying to argue. They're just trying to. They're actually trying to accuse you or something. It's not healthy. They're very weird. So, okay, inshallah, I'm going to talk about the End of the World series. It's going to help you because some of them are these these behaviors that humans are possessed to do. They're just bringing them out. It's a knowledge that I don't think I should prevent people from knowing if I could tell them, right, even though I'm going through difficulty and I don't want to do anything. And how I've overcome it, right, if you're being gang stalked, is I just stop watching people's feelings. If I right now pause my mind, my body, if I just relax and I just observe what people are feeling and thinking, I swear to God, I'm going to see horrible feelings and thoughts. Some is the demon, you get me, and some is the human. But it's like I've noticed it doesn't make any sense. The human has like two brains or something. It's like they have two things. It's like I see that they're just walking. They really are genuinely going somewhere. They're not harassing anybody. But then if I try to see through their mind, I see nothing but evil thoughts. You get me? So that's what I'm saying. They sensitize you to their feelings and thoughts. But if you can overcome that, that's just how evil humans are. They mind their business. That's what I mean by hyper-awareness. They make us aware of things like that. But it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean you need to do this or that. Right? And just sort of change the way God made you naturally. No, it's just that if I act relaxed, if I right now relax myself, and I truly follow, I know it's crazy. If I follow my own feelings and thoughts, that's when the demon manifests. That's when they say, hello. They irritate me. They bother me. Everybody talks to you. Everybody irritates you. Everybody smirks. Everybody tries to swerve at you. Like, what? You get me? You're not necessarily focusing on them. You're just focusing on your feelings and thoughts. So it's like I'm being absent. It's like I'm not following my feelings and thoughts. I'm just trying to get through this place. You know? And I can choose to do that when I'm sort of relaxed in a sort of better environment. I can just sit. You know, but not necessarily when I'm moving or doing things or interacting with people. You get me? Like when I'm sort of around humans. When I was young, I didn't always relax my body and mind and follow my own feelings and thoughts because their demons are going to try to find my they're going to try to sort of attack that part of me, my calm, happy self. Because humans are not like that. They're usually aware of each other. They're uncomfortable with you. I'm not. I'm relaxed, right? And if any of you ever are in that situation, and again, it doesn't matter if you are, right? They're just going to attack you. But right now I'm like that because I'm recording. I have to sort of get my brain off this environment because I'm going to be distracted. But that's when I'm doing certain things that I do that. I'm not following my feelings and thoughts. So it's going to my subconscious. It doesn't mean I'm ignoring it. But, right? Then I can relax in certain places. No one's going to bother me. But anytime I helped these people, I told their demons to leave them. I prayed for them. I got harassed more. You see how logical that is? Then that's why we all pray for people, but nothing changes. And they might even harass us. And you just think, what the hell? I prayed. Because you need to pray for your city or state, like everybody in that sense. Because you prayed for that one person. Okay, then they're going to bring another person. Do you see how logical that is? So I just prayed for everybody. I prayed for the city. Things are not human, just the environment. Okay, I prayed for the country, the state. Okay. Now demons don't know what to do. They can't bring someone else. They doomed as hell. But also because, I don't know, it's just very hard to explain what I did. Inshallah, other episodes I'll share. Take care of yourself.